It's a new year, y'all. And for me, I've never been one to do resolutions. I do solutions. And for the past almost 2 years, I've been drinking AG1 every single day, thanks to my brother, Dr. Andrew Huberman, who turned me on to this incredible product. Every day, every morning, no exceptions. Just one scoop and a glass of water. They also make packs that you can travel with. That's been very, very helpful for me as a active touring person. Having these packets with me all around the world has been really, really helpful. So if you're a musician or somebody that is always on the go, the travel packs are incredible. AG1 delivers my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, and pre and probiotics. It's very powerful, it's very healthy, and it's really simple, man. Healthy aging shouldn't feel complicated. The thought of taking multiple supplements and all these types of vitamins and stuff and powders, it's truly exhausting for me. I've never been one to take a lot of multivitamins anyway throughout my whole life. I always prided myself in just eating vegetables and eating all the stuff I need naturally, not in a pill form. So this is incredible. It covers my nutrient gaps. It supports my mental and physical health. AG1 is hassle-free, 60 seconds every morning. It's the high-quality ingredients of pre and probiotics, adaptogens and antioxidants, and whole food sourced nutrients. I drink it every single day. Every batch of AG1s goes through rigorous testing processes, and their ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrient density. If there's one product I can suggest to you guys, is the AG1s, man. This has been a life changer for me. So go to ag1.com/OLLC and you can get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. With AG1, I know I'm getting essential brain, gut, and immune health support, vitamins, probiotics, and nutrients for the day, and it's helped my mental and physical. So if there's one thing I can recommend to you guys, it's AG1s. It's my nutritional insurance. I pride myself as almost being 54 years old, not going to the doctor all the time. Knock on wood. I've been healthy my whole life and try to strive to be a healthy person, stay young, stay full of energy, and still do the things I love that I did as a kid. That's why I still skateboard, play music, exercise. So start the year off right. AG1, ag1.com/OLLC. Yo, Liquid Death, thank you so much for hydrating all my guests, taking care of me and my family and my friends. Love your water, love your brand, love what you stand for, love what you give back to the community. If you want to learn more about Liquid Death and how it started, listen to episode 115 with the co-founder, owner, and creator of Liquid Death, Mike Cesario. Just a punk rock skateboarding kid from Delaware with a dream. It's an incredible story, incredible journey. So if you go liquiddeath.com/Toby, you get free shipping on any items you order from liquiddeath.com. If you want to just get Liquid Death water, go to amazon.com. But for the merchandise and other cool items, exclusive items, go to liquiddeath.com/Toby and get free shipping. Thank you so much, Liquid Death. Death to plastic, murder your thirst. Stay hydrated. You know H2O saves lives. Welcome to the One Life One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. Today I got my brother, Mr. Derek Green.
Woo!
Next to me.
Let's get it.
Thank you for being here, my brother.
Thank you for having me again.
And then in front of me, first time meeting probably, Brandon Saller. How you say your last name?
Saller.
Yeah. Brandon Saller. I always fuck it up.
You always mess up last name.
Brandon Saller.
Brandon Saller.
What is that last name? What is that?
I mean, most of my heritage is like Jewish.
Nice.
So it's like Russian-ish.
Russian Jewish.
Russian Jew.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Saller. Well, welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate
I
it.
don't know if we ever met in the past. Who knows? So I don't think H2O played with Atreyu, but
No, I've sang in your face and pointed fingers at you many times, but
awesome.
Nice.
This is the first official meet.
Nice
Yeah.
to meet you.
You as well.
And so, obviously, didn't get into the history, but you were the drummer of Atreyu.
Yeah, I
And
started
now
as
you're
a
the
drummer.
singer.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that today. I'm like, imagine if
That's
my drummer became the singer. I'd be like, yo, this shit's a rap. If my dude if my dude tried to sing, I'd be like, dude.
You're like, I don't think so.
Like, were you a singer before you were a drummer?
I was a drummer first, and then started singing in the band, like by accident.
wow.
I like accidentally started singing for like a pop punk band I was in with our guitar player, because like our singer didn't show up to the studio one day, kind of thing. And he's like, you should do this in our band. Like at the time, it was like no one's really doing like singing and metal, like hardcore stuff. It's like
True.
so we just tried to do something weird, and then as it progressed, I started singing more and more, and as we grew, kind of turned into a more kind of full-time thing in the band. So
Yeah.
So the singer, you were like, you're out.
yeah, we parted ways a few years
It
ago.
wasn't
and
like you're out. Like, come on.
it was like I mean, it was a built up kind of over time thing where
Okay.
we just needed a change and
I mean, you weren't. So you were singing and playing drums.
singing and playing drums. Like he was kind of doing more of the like the aggressive stuff, like
Okay.
screaming. I was more of the clean vocal.
Okay.
And then our bass player kind of started doing a lot of the screaming too, and he kind of like started working his voice into the mix, and then
Okay.
kind of we kind of figured out we could do it.
Yeah, you guys are all from Yorba Linda, California, or
Yeah,
the area?
For the most part, yeah, we mostly grew up in Yorba Linda, went to high school in that area, kind of Orange County, and then kind of all landed in Huntington Beach, and
Yeah.
then lived there. Now we're the most spread out band of all time. I live outside of Nashville. Our bass player lives in Germany. Our guitar player lives in Simi Valley. Like other dude lives in Costa Mesa. Drummer lives in San Diego. It's like we're all over the place.
Damn.
It seems like the way it is now too.
Yeah, and a lot of people going to Nashville.
It
Yeah.
also doesn't really
Outside of
matter
Nashville.
where you live, because when you tour, you're together, right? So you can live anywhere.
Well, and even like in the
Yeah.
studio, too, like we're a band that we get together in the studio and like, what do you guys want to write about today? We can think of a song. We start riffing, excuse me. And it's like, it's not like the old days where it's like, let's get together in the jam room and
Yeah.
like write some jams and get in this. It's just like different these days. You don't have to.
It-
Even like we're starting to tour in Europe, and it's like we're just gonna rehearse in Dublin the day before the show and
Yeah.
kind of get the set together. And so it's kind of
Yeah, I think it's way different how bands work these days.
Yeah.
Your whole band's in Brazil, and you're here.
Yeah.
yeah.
And we usually get together like day of the show or like
Yeah.
you
You don't practice before?
Like
Unless
Those
you're like
guys-
learning new songs or something,
Yeah.
it's like
yes, that's
it's the same-
entirely different. Yeah.
when you're like a career band, you have a catalog. It's like how often are you throwing in a random deep cut? It's like probably never.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're doing
And even when you do it, people are like,
exactly, yeah.
It's like, damn, I know we shouldn't have thrown that in
What
there.
do you mean, like a deep cut?
Yeah, you're like, let's
Oh,
do
yeah.
some B-side shit,
Yeah.
like, bands are gonna really freak out. And they're
For
just
sure.
like
Yeah.
one dude in the
So
back,
true.
like, finally,
Yeah,
played it.
3 guys. Yeah, the loudest 3 guys on the internet want to
Right.
hear.
So the band started in 1998.
Yeah, we were in high school.
Damn.
We graduated high school.
So you're original.
When'd you graduate?
I graduated 2001.
Holy shit.
That's
I am
crazy.
old.
Yeah, I turned 18 on our first tour. Graduated.
Oh my God.
Yeah, me and Dan were in like recording engineering school, our guitar player, and the first day the guy's like, "You guys are here because you're in bands and you think whatever." He's like, "Give up the ghost. Like you're never gonna make it. Like at least you could be on the other end and make records for a living. That's cool." And then we went to like 3 or 4 weeks and we're like, "Hey man, this is gonna be our last day in school." And he's like, "What do you mean?" It's like I'm like, "We got to go to New Jersey and record a record. We got signed. We have to go make a record.
Fuck yeah.
And then we're going on tour for like indefinitely." And he was just like,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is this your first band you've been in?
Yeah, Atreyu was my first
That's
band.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, we were in like,
Wow.
little bands in high school and stuff like that. But Atreyu was the first one that really like had focus and like tried. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like, oh, we can actually like try to do this. Let's try to play shows outside of our hometown. Let's go to Vegas. Let's go to Arizona. Let's actually go for it.
And who came up with the name? Because I know it's from A Never-Ending Story, right?
Yeah, a friend of ours, our buddy Scott
Great movie.
Lloyd. Yeah, great movie. Our buddy Scott. At the time, we were into like, we're super into like Shai Hulud and like bands with like sci-fi names.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's go that route. And we're going through movies, and it was as simple as like, oh, what about Falcor? And we're like, that sounds like a power metal band. And he's like, what about Atreyu? And we're like, yeah, that's cool. And like now it's it's a weird enough name where like it's not like and I lay falling.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
It's
it's a
like we
whole-
didn't get stuck with one of those, but like it's still like everyone's like, what is this band name? But it's cool.
And now it's that running brand too.
Yes,
They send me running shoes.
dude. And it's funny. The shoes are actually kind of legit.
They're dope.
Like we hit them up and we were like, yo,
From
like,
Texas or something.
yeah. At first we're kind of like, hey man, like, because it's kind of weird. Like our name's from a movie, so we can't really own the copyright to the
I
name.
was gonna ask that.
So like we have this kind of weird ownership.
what does
because
Atreyu mean? I'm sorry.
I don't know what
Does
the
it-
actual like
Okay.
word means, but it's like we can't own the rights, but we have this weird like usage ownership because
Same with us.
we have the biggest kind of like
Because the molecules, you can't do H2O.
Right.
yeah. But I hit them up and we were like, we should do like a collab or something. Like you should at least send us shoes, and then they did. But and
They're
it-
pretty
there's-
good for stage, man. I
They're
rock
great.
'em.
Yeah, they're good. It's funny. I got in this crazy accident like two years ago, and I was literally stepping over like a baby gate at my wife's dad's house, and I tripped and like fell on a glass and cut my almost died. It was gnarly.
Holy
Oh my
shit,
God.
some random shit.
But it was because I'm used to wearing Converse. right? And I was wearing the Atreyu running shoes, and the sole is thick.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, bro, you almost killed me. Just send me some more shoes.
You
'Cause
said
You
the
almost killed me.
flat-footed Converse.
Yeah.
Damn. Is that what you were on stage? Usually Converse too?
Yeah, I'm a cons dude. It's weird because like
Ooh.
I'm like a walking oak tree. Like I'm not a small human by any means. and
Jumping around, dude.
I'm jumping around, and like it's always been just like cons, and I just like my body's used to it. I think.
It's
Oh,
crazy
my
because I was talking to two things. I was talking to Johnny Two Bags last week on here for Social Distortion. He's having issues with his neck and his back, but he's always wore Chucks. And think about the Ramones. Ramones only wore Chucks too.
Yeah.
They didn't
Yeah.
jump around like,
No,
but it's like jumping up and down and landing on that is no like it's crazy.
Oh yeah,
no, adult footwear is.
That's where it's
A
at.
lot of hardcore
Yeah,
bands are
yeah.
going from Vans to Hocus.
Yeah,
Straight up,
Some
or
running
like yeah,
shoes.
like our guitar, one of our guitar players wears like he'll do like Adidas or something on stage, and like he keeps it real. He's going like some black Adidas to kind of fade, like blend in, but like our aesthetic is not the H2O aesthetic. It's like what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
wearing like studded leather jackets and shit on stage, so you can't really like go like with some dope
That's
fucking.
true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
But he'll a couple of us wear like comfortable footwear, but then our bass player is like he wears Docs all the time.
And that's gnarly too for your
That's
feet.
gnarly.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it.
I was telling Johnny, I'm like, there's no way that like Social Distortion can have anybody in the band wearing like Air Maxes or like some trainers.
That'd
on
be sick
stage.
though.
I know.
Mike
jumping
Ness in a
over.
full get up with just like some sick Nikes.
It's just
Crazy.
Yeah, it wouldn't work well.
And Johnny said he tried wearing Cortez one, but they were like, nah, in the band. And even Cortez, those are like flat-footed.
Yeah.
I was having this discussion with our drummer last night because he wore like just like the nylon Cortezes, the blue ones.
Classic.
And the only other shoe that I've ever worn comfortably outside of Converse or like Vans has been the black nylon Cortezes, but they're like impossible. You can't find them.
You get them at swap meet.
Yeah,
That's where you get them for like $40.
dude.
Slauson swap meet, you get them out here, or
Yeah.
probably on Amazon at this point.
I tried Amazon.
Oh,
and
you
you
did?
can't,
Okay.
the leather ones all day, but like you can't find.
Yeah.
I don't like the way the leather ones look, but they're so sick.
Yeah.
It's like one of the best shoes.
So you guys just grew up in Cali, going
Yeah.
to shows. Where'd you guys go to shows at usually back then?
I mean, our haunts were like Showcase Theater,
Yes.
Chain Reaction,
Yes.
Coos on like a real small thing. I mean, I've seen you guys at the barn. Remember the Irvine?
Back in the day.
Yeah.
That's Bill Folk, Coachella.
Dude.
Okay,
That's
all
on.
right.
Yeah, we did. We went and saw you guys at the barn, and that was the night I found Madball and Scarhead. It was you guys, Madball, Scarhead, and maybe Kill Your Idols.
Yeah.
And it was like
That's
that's the
crazy.
reason I found those other two bands, which to this day are like huge.
That's
Right.
awesome. And that was a crazy tour.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Sounds crazy, right?
Yeah, it does sound crazy.
It was great though.
Scar.
So you were going to the Corona Showcase. I heard that's coming back, or there's a documentary or something coming
There's a
out.
documentary. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually in the documentary.
Nice.
They've been trying to buy it and do all these things and like kind of revive it, but it's been shut down so long that the city of Corona won't allow anyone to even step foot inside because it's a hazard.
Wow.
Like it's been like molding and just like it's just frozen in time. Like the stage is still in there, like it's just boarded up, and like
Nobody owns it really?
like whoever owns it
It's
like
interesting.
can't sell it because you can't go inside, but they can't tear it down. It's like a weird like
Damn.
loophole. But I mean
Hazardous.
that was legend. Like that place was the CB's of
It was.
California.
Yeah,
Um,
we played there once, and there was like an ATM or a bank behind there,
Mhm.
and all these kids would gather around. There was no phones back then. They were all like freaking out, and over there there was a human finger that was cut off, just sitting on top of the
Oh
ATM.
my
a
God,
real
no way.
finger. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some gnarly stuff that happened back then, dude.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, it was not in a rad part of town.
So what is some of Atreyu's influence? You're like a straight up hardcore kid, right? So then like Atreyu's
Yeah.
got its own sound.
Yeah, we
What's
kinda,
the genre of Atreyu? People would say.
dude?
Yeah.
I mean, we got pinned into like metalcore,
Yeah.
but like
what I was
I
gonna say.
don't fully know if I agree with that. We've always kind of like tried as hard as we could to carve our own thing.
Yeah.
Like there's metal, there's hardcore, there's rock influences, there's like 80s influences. I mean, there's pop. It kind of
Throughout
comes
the
from
years,
everywhere.
I'm sure it's changed.
Yeah, I mean, we started as like half of our band loved. We all listened to like H2O and Shai Hulud and Hatebreed and stuff like that. But then we listened to we started getting into like In Flames and Soilwork, some of the Swedish stuff. And then Travis, our guitar player, was always like big into like Deftones, big into Sepultura, like Tool, stuff like that. So it kind of came from everywhere.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then before any of us got into hardcore, we were just like punk rock kids. So we were listening to the Germs and like, Operation Ivy,
yeah.
Joy
yeah.
Killer, it's TSOL, stuff like that. So it's like,
Yeah, Joy Killer. I remember them too. And Epitaph.
dude, I love Joy Killer. It's like one of the most slept on bands.
Yeah, I thought about that.
It's just Jack Gersham's his band they started, but then like
okay. I didn't know
it was
that.
so signature. I still listen to that band to this day.
Yeah. And then when did you guys meet or play together?
Europe.
Yeah,
You guys were one of the first. We did our first tour in Europe. We did about a month with Boy Sets Fire, and then we went directly from that. We did a week of headline shows, and then we did like 3 weeks with you guys.
Yeah.
And it was the most intimidating thing in the world because we're just like 20-year-old, 21-year-old kids, and it's like, cool, your first time you're going with...
That's pretty sick.
That was your first time in Europe.
Yeah, we knew Boy Sets Fire already because we toured with them and Snapcase in the States.
Ooh.
So it was like cool with them. We shared a bus with them, which like for us again, we're like, we need to hang out on the same bus.
That's awesome.
And then, but going with you guys, like you guys were the first, like Sepultura was the first like kind of like legend status band we'd ever actually toured with. And I remember you specifically broke all that down like day one because everyone in your band is nice,
right?
But you have just an overarching like smile about you know what I mean? Like you're just, hey guys, like and like even at that time, I mean you were still relatively new to the band, so I think you had even more of just that like kind of thing. But I remember like day one, we're like, okay, Derek's chill, like this is gonna be fine, this is gonna be awesome, like. But yeah, that was the first time we met.
Yeah.
What about Retribution? That was your first band? When you were 13 years old?
Yeah, punk band, just me, our guitar
Street
player.
punk.
Straight up. We were like, Yorba Linda is like a rich town.
Yeah, I heard it before. The name has never been there.
Yeah, and like our families were, you know, middle class, upper middle class. My family was not. I lived in another town. My mom was broke. Like we were lower middle class if on a good day. But it was known as like a rich town. So we were like playing shows with all these punk bands and like Total Chaos and Stratford Mercenaries and like Casualties and stuff, and like punks did not like our shit at all because they were like they were just like thought we were rich kids and like was like you know, we were phony, but we were also like 16.
Damn.
So it's like, what are you yelling at? It's like a bunch of children.
Yeah, right.
Have you been doing the band this whole time and not just music full time, or you have jobs in between?
Excuse me. Yeah, I did. I mean, since we started, I started when I was 17. We started touring.
Wow.
And I haven't stopped. Even like Atreyu went on a hiatus from like 2011 to 15, and I just started another band. Yeah. And did that, and you know, if it hasn't been touring, it's been writing. I write with other bands. I do writing for like TV, film, and stuff too.
Oh, you do?
But yeah, it's been like. Someone asked me the other day, like, what are you into other than music? And I'm like, my wife makes fun of me all the time because I don't have any hobbies. Like, I just do music all the time. And, like, I'm fine with it. But, like, she's like, you should probably start golfing or something. Or, like, get into something else. That's
you have kids?
Yeah, two girls.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
How old are they?
5.5 and almost 7.
It's a great age.
Yeah. This is the last thing I'll bring up about my history with watching you. But, but like, me and my wife were at one of your shows in Chain Reaction. And it was when your son was, I don't know, he was young, super fucking young. And he came out on stage and he was like, oh, like, hey, like I have all these toys, or like blow up toys or like some monsters or something. And he was like, I have all these toys and like, I got new ones, so I wanted to give them to you. And he like threw out the toys to the crowd. And me and my wife were like, yo, like, could you imagine? Like, this is what we want our family to be. Right. Like when we're like, the son is at the show giving out his toys and like, maybe even like crowd surfing.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was like, yes. And like to this day, like my kids, they come on tour, like they got their chairs on the side of the stage. Like it's a whole thing. But we're like, this is what this could be. Like we had,
awesome,
you know,
man.
That's really
crazy.
Cool.
Thank you. Fucking Max.
Dude. And now he just kind of plays drums for H2O.
Dude.
That's bonkers.
It's totally bonkers.
So insane.
Well.
Yeah.
Kills it, man. Yeah, it's very surreal. It's super fun, but yeah, it's like, I don't even think about it sometimes. Oh, that's my son.
It just happened so naturally, too.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, all right.
It's got to be the
timing
coolest
with
thing.
everything, yeah.
It's got to be the coolest thing as a dad to like grow up and have your kid be into the stuff that you're into. Like want to play drums in your head.
Right.
And I would say that Max doesn't love hardcore like people think he does.
Right.
Like I was talking about the podcast earlier, just like,
but that's what makes it so cool, though, in a way, because he's got other things going on.
He's just growing up around H2O and Hazen Street.
Right.
So that's like his thing, the Madball and stuff like that he knows.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's like he's going to see Drain. Drain's his favorite band. He's going to see them tomorrow.
Sick.
And I was just telling him he listens to Judge now randomly. He loves metal.
Yeah.
Loves
hard metal.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So like he found his like kind of own thing. Your first couple records on Victory Records. How was
what?
Was that a trip?
You know how that was, probably.
You never signed to them, right?
No,
me either. You know them though, right? From back
yes, very well.
Okay,
yeah.
So that was a trip. That was like big time back then.
Yeah, we at the time it was like a lot of our favorite bands were on Victory, so it was like, this is no brainer. And then you don't. It's like you don't know the girl's a psychopath. You've been with her for 5 years, and then like we didn't know the Brummel stories back then. Like there was no internet really. There was no social media, and he started to get bigger and grow and not
4-album deal was you on there?
Yeah. And not see anything and
Yeah.
start hearing the things and realizing what's going on. And
There was a lot of bands on there, bro. Even Scarhead was on there.
yeah, dude, so many bands went through that ringer.
Hatebreed.
We were one of the first. We were one of the first bands to just fulfill the contract. Like,
wow.
Like didn't sue, and then at the end it was like, hey, this is our last record. And he's like, cool, let's talk about another contract. And we're like, actually, we're gonna audit you. And
Wow.
And then he was like, hey, how about I just give you this much money and you don't talk to me again? And at the time, it sounded like a good thing, but probably could have got a lot more out of him.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was weird.
That's
It's very
crazy.
weird.
What year was that? Was like 2009, maybe?
Yeah, it's like 2006, 2007 we got off.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the last record was on there was 2006, a Death Grip one?
Yeah, Death Grip was on the last one on Victory. And like we signed to Hollywood Records after that, and like the dudes from Hollywood Records were like in the studio during Death Grip. Like they
Already there. So,
already there. It was like
yeah.
that's why I mean you look at our catalog or our history and it's always like records usually lasted maybe 2 years. That record came out, we toured for like 6 months and went back in the studio because the label was just like all right. We were just like, I don't want to spend any more time with Victory. Let's just get back. Let's try something else. And
wow.
yeah.
And the Hollywood Records was better?
They were cool. Like, you know, it was our first time with a major label, and it was very much like, we're not a major label band. We're gonna do what we want to do. You just gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
And they were into it. Like they were like they would have put out Death Grip if it was on, if they had the choice.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of our fans are like, this is onto a major, and then like went, you know, raid to the radio. It's like, oh, we wanted to try some new things and try like
For sure.
to go to like aim higher, you know.
You guys got radio play and stuff back then?
Yeah, we had a little bit before the first Hollywood record. It was like, it was there, but it wasn't like big. And then the first Hollywood record, we had like big top 5 songs.
Wow.
So like that was a life kind of
Changing thing.
shift. Yeah.
So I remember back then, like what label you on mattered. They didn't even care about your record. You're on a major label. Fuck you.
You remember the flyers? It'd be like Atreyu, Victory Records from Southern California, and then like name 3 bands that you sound like. You remember all the hardcore bands flyers? Like it was like kids actually cared. It was like, oh, they're on Victory. Yeah, I'll go check it out.
Oh yeah, Epitaph Records presents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, check it out.
So the people kind of bugged when you went to a major.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, like we were starting to just like not outgrow the scene, but it was just like we didn't care about a lot of the negatives of the hardcore scene.
For sure, man.
Like we just like liked the bands we liked, and it was like a lot of just seemed very dramatic.
It's very dramatic.
And then we would do like
judgmental, everything.
yeah,
Man. Yeah.
and we would do like radio shows randomly with like Papa Roach or like these bands, and like they were just like cool as shit. And like and we're like, man, like this is kind of a cool place to be. Like it seems like everyone wants each other to win, you know, and it just seemed a lot less clicky
competitive,
and like,
all that stuff. Yeah.
So we just kind of started to aim higher.
And then playing with different types of bands and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, because it was at that same time, like even early in our career, we would do Warped Tour one year, Ozfest the next year, like, you know, so it was like back and forth. We did like we'd like tour with Lamb of God, and then we tour with Taking Back Sunday. It was like, so we kind of got this weird thing where we had a foot in both.
Yeah, that's
both
cool
sides,
to do
yeah.
that too.
Yeah. I mean, you guys like really took off. I mean, after we toured together, then it wasn't that long till like really started to go upward. You know, it seemed that.
Yeah. I think we just got really lucky at the beginning because like we got really lucky to get opportunities that were like the height of what was available to us.
Okay.
Like it was like we're doing Snapcase and Boy Sits Fire tour in the States, and it was like, whoa, like, these are like 500 cap rooms that they're full.
Yeah.
Like these are legendary bands that are now making us look cool because we're on tour with them. And then it was like, cool, we're going to Europe, we're on Boy Sits Fire and Sepultura. It's like, whoa, like we kept getting, for whatever reason, just like good opportunities. So I think that helped at the very beginning. Just that helped the kind of momentum.
Right.
But
that's amazing. Yeah, that's awesome. And then after was it Congregation was the first major label one?
Lead Sales was the first.
Lead Sales, Paper Anchor. Yeah. And then Long Live was a pretty big gap. There was an 8-year gap between that one.
Yeah, we did. We went on hiatus and kind of.
And what was your solo project?
I did. At first, it was just like it was called the Black Cloud Collective. It was like a solo thing, and then it turned into a band called Hell or Highwater. Yeah. Which, I mean, technically still exists.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, we put out a couple records, a couple EPs. Ended up signing to the same label that Atreyu ended up on. But yeah, it was a cool thing. It was just like totally different.
It's like
rock.
8 years. That's
Yeah.
a long time. Was it a band decision or?
Yeah, we just
You got burnt.
Yeah, it got a little burnt. We were just going so hard, and like it was funny because it's the first time in our career where like I think it was a little bit of like humble pie. Like we had just done a steady up for our whole career, and we put out a record called Congregation of the Damned, and it didn't do bad, but it was the first record that kind of like skipped. And for us, when we were making the record, we got a lot of heat when we made Lead Sails because it was like, you guys sold out. It's a radio band now.
God.
And like you kind of at that younger age want to be like, all right, fine. Well, let's show them that we're still heavy, right?
Yeah.
And I think
Still got it.
in trying to do that, it just kind of got a little bit convoluted and impure, you know?
Yeah.
So
Forced.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like you could hear it. It's like you're trying to write heavy songs that you don't really like. You're like, okay.
Right.
But that was the first kind of like kickback we got, and it like mentally ruined us. Where it was just like,
shit.
wow, like what do you mean we're not? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so
Crush some egos a little bit too.
yeah, which is I think was so necessary.
Yeah.
Right,
It happens
right.
to all bands for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So we went away, and it was like one of those things. Played a show, and I remember we played a show in Orlando, and we're sitting in the back of the bus, and it was like a good show, but it was like the time before we did Orlando, we sold out 2 nights in a row in the House of Blues, and it was like this time it was like the one night sold out, but it sold out the day of, and it was like we should all be excited about this. It was like, but it was like, man, something's not right, and it was like, what if the world didn't have Atreyu for a while? What would anyone think about that? And I remember everyone in my band be like, yeah, it might be okay. And I was like, I did not expect that answer.
Right.
You know, and it was like everyone was just kind of fried, you know. And
Nice.
Was it hard to kind of disappear though for a while?
yes and no. Like
Yeah.
I had a thing. I think everyone in our band had a different idea of what that was going to mean. I thought we were done. I remember we played a show in LA at House of Blues, and I thought it was gonna be our last show, and it was like the last show of the tour. And I got off stage and like lost it, like broke down. Like my wife like literally like threw a hoodie on me and like took me out to the car and we bailed. Like I was like I thought it was it. And then so then we decided to kind of break whatever, and like me and our old singer were kind of on weird terms, and everyone in the band was just a little fried. And then I just like dove right back in. Like I was in the studio within like months of doing that, just like trying to do the next thing.
Yeah.
And
You weren't ready to be done with it. Yeah.
no, I wasn't ready. I wasn't done with music by a long shot. So it was just like
Did you have to work after that regular job?
yeah, I worked at a bar for a little while in Huntington Beach, and I mean that was like it was awkward as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
It was like a punk rock bar called Johnny's, and like the first night I worked there, all the Avenged dudes came in, all of them, like, and those are our homies from.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like all of our like literally, I'd say 98% of our friend group came in like, oh, what up, man? And I was working the door, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm working. They're like, oh, cool, see you in there. And then like 30 minutes later, they'd come out to like smoke or something. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm working. And they're like, is everything okay, dude?
Yeah.
But the reality was, I was working to fund Hell or Highwater. Like we were independent, so it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't expect other dudes that I just pulled in to be like, yeah, empty your pockets. Let's dig
sure.
into this band.
Right.
So I had to fund every tour, like fronting merch, you know, everything. So I
Damn.
just worked at a bar to do that. But it was like, I mean, it's a dude in a band's job. Like
Yeah.
the dude was my friend, so I just got to
Yeah.
bartend and like go fuck off and get paid for it. Like,
Sure.
it wasn't like suit and tie shit. I've tried at that. It doesn't work for me.
You tried that before? It's in your career?
And I'm just like, I've tried to like attempt to think about getting regular
And being
jobs. And I'm
growing
like,
up in society?
that's not my thing.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be a degenerate and try.
I think about that too. Like, was the grass green on the other side? Like back in then, should I get a regular job and be a normal person and no music and just have the pension and work 9 to 5?
That's insane.
The biggest extreme.
The grass isn't greener though.
No, it's not.
No.
My biggest extreme is I'm like, maybe I should have been a booking agent. Like if I wasn't in a band, like, man, these booking agents sure do make a lot of money. Like,
They do.
I love
They
when you
do.
see dudes in bands and you're like, yeah, who do you book now? And they name like 9 bands that are all grossing $500,000 a year, and you're like, wow, like, yes,
so
you're
true,
doing
man.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy
awesome.
when it's just different in hardcore than it's probably for Sepultura. But most of the shows we got our whole career was like, oh, your friends, oh, you want to play the show with us? Or your friends are asking you to play, and then the booking agent takes the money for something you could do yourself.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always hated that.
Yeah. I definitely. It's booking agents. But once you have a really good booking agent,
It's great. We've had the same
wonderful.
agent our whole career.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nick Storch, he's been a legend. And
Nick Storch. Yeah.
And he's been like, we used to sleep on his couch in Philly, you know,
Damn.
like, so like he's been with us since day one. And like since then he booked some of the biggest bands around. He booked Ghost and Falling in Reverse and like all these like massive bands. And like, he could very well fuck us off and be like, I don't have time, but he still ride or die.
How long were you doing your solo project until the band got back together?
We were doing it for about 4 years.
Okay.
And then
was the band talking during those years?
We didn't talk for like almost 2 years.
Wow.
Like barely. I might talk to Dan. Dan was the only one, our guitar player. And we've been like best friends since I was, we were kids. So I would talk every now and then and I would kind of
check in.
He was the dude that would like, hey man, like what do you think? Should we get in a room? And I'm like, no, I'm literally on tour right now. Like, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
And
how was your solo stuff going for you?
It was going good. Like we were same thing. It was like grassroots. I mean, it's funny because people think like I'm in this band, so I could probably do anything I wanted, and then people are gonna care. It's like nope.
Not
starting from square one.
Scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like in a metal hardcore band, you start a rock band. It's like nope. But it was grassroots. But again, we got like our first tour was like one of the big like Uproar festivals, like Avenged and Disturbed and all these bands.
Damn.
So it was like, we did like tours with like The Darkness and Stone Sour and like these random cool things, because we were also this weird like not obvious band, so they just kind of put us wherever. So it was going good, and then especially it's funny, like Atreyu kind of came back, and that's where it started to take off for the other band. Like they started playing our songs on the radio, and like we were getting better and better tours. And then so I when it first started, it was like I was juggling.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, cool, Trey's going out for 2 months. We're gonna come back. I'm doing a Hell or High Water tour for this and that. And then it kind of slowly just like Atreyu just
took over.
Yeah.
So the going away really helped.
It did. I mean, we came back super strong, and it allowed us to kind of
the Long Live record did good when you guys came back.
Yeah, because it was like that was us too. It was like. That was 2-3 years of pent up. I haven't written music like this in a long time, and also like there was no. It's like, what do people think? What do people want from us? And it was like, we don't care. Like, what do we want to do? Let's just go. And like that record is just revved up to like 12 for me. Like that's just like us taking everything we've learned and throwing it at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And it did great. And then we kind of like.
You have the first show back.
Yeah, our first show back was we did 2 shows at Chain Reaction.
Sick.
And it was like everyone in their career wants this moment where it's like, we're coming back, we're gonna put the first one on sale, and then like it's Chain, like this is a small show for us,
400, right?
Yeah, and it's like it sold out in like 28 seconds, and we're like, we're doing another one, and like it sold out in like 30 seconds. So it was like the comeback. We did the same thing in London. We did like Underworld in London. It sold out in like a minute and a half. So it was like we're the king of the world. but like that, that like gusto only lasts. It's like that's you get that first big bang, and then it all evens out again. But it was like it was cool. Like we were kind of right back in the swing. And it's weird, like our band has had these weird kind of seasons of like, we grow and grow and grow. We go on hiatus. We come back, and it's like we're all together, and it feels great. And that lasts for a few years, and then things start to change again. And then we go through another change.
Yeah.
And member lineup shift, and it's like now we're in this whole new season. So it's like it's a weird like continual rebirth thing that keeps happening with our band that we're very fortunate that keeps working.
Yeah. How many original members in the band?
Everyone but our drummer.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, our bass player is the least original, but he's been in the band for 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, our original bass player was only on the first record. So,
yeah. So you had a 3-year between Long Live and in our wake as well. What's the first record you sang on and didn't play drums on?
Baptize.
Okay, Baptize 2021. Oh, the newest one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we started that album with our old singer.
Okay.
And then COVID hit, and we kind of had like we've always been a band. We're like we don't really kiss and tell. Like our fans have been clamoring at us to be like, tell us what happened now. We deserve.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is
your business.
You weren't in this marriage. Like just relax.
I love that, man.
And it's also like we don't want to. No one wants to shit on anybody and air out whatever. But things were changing, and it was like that was the point where it was like we started with him, and then it was we called our manager, like, I think we're gonna make these decisions. He's like, you sure guys want to do this now? Like, they just announced like a global pandemic 2 weeks ago. We're like, I think we're gonna be here a while, so this is gonna, like, might as well take the time.
Right.
It's a good time, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up finishing writing that album, just the four of us, and I ended up having to go back and kind of retrack a bunch of stuff. But
Wow.
that was the first thing we did. That was just me singing.
Even though you've been in the band, it's also, you're becoming the singer. That's like a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's
From sitting
like
down and standing up, and
for sure, and it's
what I mean?
it's a big move, but it's one of those things where, like, you know, you learn everything happens for a reason. You know, it's like if we wouldn't have stopped touring and years prior, and I wouldn't have started another band that I just sang in,
true.
I might not have ever
The chops up
had
too,
to
man.
like learn how to be a front man and kind of have like
Good
try to
point.
learn from the perspective of like watching these other front men that we're touring with and focusing on that. And then like we did in 2019, our old singer hurt his back and we were supposed to go do festivals in Europe, and literally like 2 days before he's like, doctor said I can't go. And we're like, we can't not go. Like, the bus is paid for, the crew's paid.
Gotta
Like,
do
we're
it.
in the can $40,000 if we don't, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I call our now drummer, who was on tour with his band at the time. I'm like, you at home? He's like, I'm driving home now. I'll be home in like 3 hours. We've been out for 6 weeks.
Damn.
I'm like, can you come to Europe tomorrow? Like, we'll rehearse one day in
shit.
England. He's like, I got to call my wife, I guess.
Oh,
But
man.
luckily she gave him the okay, and he came. We rehearsed once and did that whole tour as this lineup.
Damn.
Wow.
And it was like, and it went like awkwardly good.
Right.
Wow.
So I'm gonna say, like, it had to have been an adjustment to be out front. Like,
Yeah.
were your bandmates helping you, or like,
For sure.
just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yo,
I mean, I think for them it was the hardest because like,
right.
like I've said it before, like I'm a walking oak tree. Like I'm like a freight train running around the station. For them, it was like, oh, like whoa,
dodge you,
gotta
yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
like, get out of this dude's way.
Wow.
But I just tried to, do the best I could, but it's fun. It was
Then how
cool.
are the other fans receptive to? Obviously.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, there's always going to be someone that only cares about
The old singer better.
the thing that they loved, and
Yeah.
but I think that we've learned a big lesson from John Feldman. He's produced a bunch of our records.
Legend. Shout out to Feldy.
Yeah, he's a legend, and I remember he's always kind of gotten this thing out of us where he was like, it doesn't matter what you do, it just matters if it's good or not.
True.
Like, he's like, if Atreyu put out a K-pop song, but it was like the dopest K-pop song you ever heard, that shit would get big.
Yeah.
Because people just care if it's good.
Mhm.
And it was like, okay, well, we just have to make sure what we're doing is good, as good as we can. And
yeah.
like that, I think that the live show is
Speaks
kind
for
of on another
itself.
level, and
Yep.
and like, it's been working. I think even some of the people that have been pissed, like if they come see it, they're not mad anymore.
Until they see it live. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, and it's like, I'm the same thing. It's like, I don't know why people are mad. I don't want people to be mad. It's like, no, that dude still, he's got another project. It's cool.
He has his own. He's
Yeah,
out
he
touring.
has like, no, he's not touring yet, but he's putting out music. It's called Dead Icarus. Like,
Okay.
we all shout him out. Like, I want everyone to win.
It's all good. Yeah.
And it's like, so it's like, oh, like you can still hear him singing a metal band. You can still listen to us, and
Right.
Yeah.
there doesn't have to be a thing. I think it's like 1,000 kids that live in their parents' basement that are mad about it.
Nah,
and
for
then
sure.
actual
Probably
humans,
way
are,
less than 1,000.
yeah, and actual humans are just like living their lives. Yeah,
And then what about the drummer that replaced you? Did you pick him? Like, how'd that work out?
yeah. He played drums in Hell or High Water.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Perfect.
I had already had to go through the thing where it was like, okay, I've been a drummer my whole life. I'm a singer now. I need a drummer in my band that I don't have to worry about,
Right.
or else I'm just gonna like micromanage.
Yeah, I
the
was
shit out
gonna
of this
say,
dude's-
were you like, yo,
yeah, like I
that
don't want
part there, maybe you could
yeah.
slow it down a little
That's
bit.
For
perfect,
sure.
dude.
Well, I didn't want to do that to somebody,
Yeah, of course.
And
not.
it was so I mean, the dude crushes me on drums. Like, he's so
Really?
good.
Wow.
And it's like, so it was obvious. And then he did that
Perfect.
tour with us, and it was
Oh, that's
easy.
Yeah.
So when it kind of came time to do this switches, it was like, I was like, I'm not the dude that's gonna decide how this is gonna go. If we're gonna
Mhm.
shift, like, you guys tell me what you want. And they're like, you have to sing because people know you singing already. It's not just bringing in some new voice they've never heard.
true.
Yeah.
Like, you've already
Right.
been here.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't want to take away two, and then, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so they chose that, but I'm like, okay, well, if you're saying I'm going to be the singer, then Kyle has to be the drummer. And everyone already had played a tour with them. They knew how it was. And he's just like a godsend too. Like one of those, just like ultra positive, like
Awesome.
brings a vibe up anywhere he's
Yeah,
at kind of
yeah.
vibe. So he's been killing it.
That's awesome. So now this A Torch in the Dark is the first full album you sang on everything.
Yeah, so we did. So it's weird. Like we're doing this kind of EP thing right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So we did. This will be the Torch in the Dark is the third EP.
30 EP. Okay.
Yeah. So we did.
But the record's November 3rd, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that comes out. It was weird. Like obviously, we all make music. You all try to figure out what's the right approach these days.
Yeah.
And just like trying to shine a light on as many of the songs as we can. So there's not 4 songs that are great, and then the rest are just like afterthoughts.
Yeah.
So we split everything up and kind of noticed that the story that it was telling made sense in like cycles. So
That's cool.
put out 3 EPs. Torch in the Dark will be the 3rd, and then it all kind of leads into a full length called The Beautiful Dark of Life.
Yeah.
That'll come out at the end of the year too.
That's smart, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's working. It's working so far. It's just I like it because it's people have something new every like 2-3 months.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a nice build up too.
Yeah.
Attention span's pretty shot these days with music.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like the way you
it's
promote
really-
on social media, the algorithms, all that shit. It's like
Yeah.
it's a whole different world, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Putting out music, like do people listen to full albums? I don't even know.
I like
No.
to.
Yeah.
Like,
a
I'm
nice sequenced album.
I enjoy that. Yeah.
I'm like a vinyl dude still. Like
Okay.
I wanna do that at my house and like put on the vinyl and listen
Yeah.
to the whole thing. And I'm like trying to get my dog. We like try to do like vinyl time with my kids. We like look at the artwork and like, what do you
cool.
like about this? Like, oh, look at the colors of the vinyl. Like, what song do you want to hear? Like, no, not that song. We're just gonna wait for that song.
Yeah.
Like, try to teach patience too, you know.
Ooh.
And
skip. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like I don't think people do that these days.
No,
Even the
man.
EPs, like we're even seeing with the EPs, about 4-song EPs. There's still a song that's like kind of a sleeper, and you're like,
Right.
y'all couldn't get through 4 songs, like it's 15
It's
minutes.
true.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that's all online, right? And then the record comes out.
Yeah.
And you guys have a big tour planned?
Yeah, we do. We just got off kind of a U.S. thing. We did like a co-headline with this band Memphis Mayfire,
Yeah.
and then we ended up doing like a handful of shows with Godsmack, which was like a different kind of vibe
How
for
was
us.
that?
Yeah.
Dude, it was fucking hard. It was awesome.
It's good.
That was the most like
Challenging.
well treated
Hard
we've ever
crowd?
been. No, well they were like older,
Yeah.
Right.
but I think it's just like exciting. You know what I mean? Like they just never. That crowd has just never seen something like what
Yeah,
we do,
yeah,
so I
right.
think it's just different. And then we just did 3 shows with Iron Maiden
I know. I
too,
saw that. I made that's
Oh, yeah,
crazy.
which was sick. That was
But you
awesome.
played
We're-
with them before.
We did some shows in Mexico City, which were like it was kind of a disaster back then. This is 15 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Like one, I don't think we were as good of a band 15 years ago. So that's our first notch. 2,
Because Maiden fans are fierce.
Is it
That's-
really like Slayer
oh.
style?
Yeah.
worse.
Even worse.
Damn.
Our bass player got hit in the face with like a metal spike. Like it would have blinded him if it was 1 second different. Our
Damn.
tour manager tipped out the loaders with a chain she found on stage. Yeah, but
Wow.
I mean, we kind of like it's like we were like destined to fail though. Like, but it was Maiden, Atreyu,
Uh-huh.
which the backdrop pole was too small, so our backdrop just said Trey, which that's sick. Like so, like no one knows who your band's even called.
That's
This
amazing.
fucking band Trey, and then
Wow.
below us is Carcass for the first time in like 6 years.
Oh my God.
Morbid Angel, and Lauren Harris, which is Steve Harris's daughter.
Yeah.
So it's like, who are these fucking short-haired dorks from Orange County playing over these like legends? The second show, we like went into Carcass's dressing room. We're like, hey, like
Can we switch?
let's swap.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, that's fine. We're like, cool, let's do that.
And they were cool.
They were-
Wow.
they were
that's
fine.
cool.
But we still had to play after Morbid Angel.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know,
It's
Trey
rough.
had to play after Morbid Angel, but like
Especially
we
for
finished,
that crowd.
but we finished the show, and I
Good
guess
for
that's a
you.
big deal.
It's
Yeah.
a huge deal.
Yeah, and this was a different story. These shows were in Canada. Canadians are the nicest people on planet
yeah,
Earth.
they're
Yeah.
Super nice.
Like it went off. It was hard. So
Do you like the challenge though, winning people over?
yeah,
Me
for
too.
me, like our band was like, okay, let's see how this goes. I was like suiting up for battle. It was like redemption,
Yeah.
No, but it's
redemption
good
for
that
me. You know?
did it, man.
And
Yeah.
I like that you could be like a band for that long and still be a new band to people.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
love that, man.
I like the challenge. That keeps you hungry.
I
Like
For
think
sure.
that challenge is important. All bands should face it.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen like, there were tours that we did and it was like Systems of a Down opening, and then we were playing
Damn.
against Slayer, and it was in Europe, and people weren't having Systems of a
No.
Down. They were,
But, like,
and it
you
was
got-
their first album. It
Yeah.
was,
Told me
like,
they were
amazing,
tripping on him.
amazing album.
The guy was singing all wild, and they were like, "What is
They
this?"
were just like, "Yo, he's got makeup on."
yeah,
Like,
dude. Back
just
then it were even
flipping.
worse. Yeah, it was
I was
like,
dude, Slayer, they had makeup on too. And like, back in it, was like,
Dude.
what's wrong with these people? And they were just like booing, and then Systems were just like in their face, like, like.
Chop
but I
suey.
think that's how you
Yeah.
win though.
Absolutely.
Like if you, it's like
Yeah.
you don't
show,
bow,
like,
you
any
can't
sort of-
bow to it.
Right.
True.
Like we were talking, we had friends of this band, Funeral for a Friend, they're a UK band, and they were like, yeah, we did shows with Maiden. And first of all, they were like a straight up emo band. Like there was nothing that made sense at all.
Yeah.
And they were like, yo, straight up, people turned around.
Wow.
They were just facing the back. It was like, oh,
But it doesn't
That's
even matter.
mad
It
disrespect.
doesn't even matter if
man.
like it's Iron Maiden's friends or their cousins or anything. They don't give a
Lauren
shit.
Lauren
Yeah,
Harris.
they don't care.
yeah,
People
gnarly.
That's crazy, bro.
gnarly, dude. Turning your back.
That's fucking, that's some next level.
Crazy, dude.
I saw this.
Just leave the room, man.
I
Like, why
saw
would you do
this
that?
in Brazil too for another band, but I'm not going to mention that band. But it
I
was
mean-
a big band. and
But
I
like,
was
but South America too, like Brazil, like that's people the same.
yeah.
You know, it's nuts. We've never been to South America.
Wow.
Damn.
So
You
if you
gotta
want to
hit
bring
that
back the
shit.
You gotta
Atreyu
go.
Sepultura thing, we could do it again. You know,
You got
You gotta
do
hit
it,
that, man. It's so
Definitely.
amazing over there.
it's one of those things where it's like we've never been, so promoters don't know what to do,
What to
Insane.
offer any of that
and it's
stuff,
like
right?
we don't know to like we don't even know where to start.
Do you get requests from people from South
Oh,
America? I'm
every
sure all the
every
time.
Instagram post ever?
When you
When
come
come in Brazil?
when you come to Jakarta.
Now,
Yeah.
now it's time. There's actually a really good festival called Summer Breeze
Yeah.
that was in Germany. That
Oh, yeah.
started in Germany,
Yeah, I
and
played
now
that.
they have it in Brazil.
Oh wow.
that's
And
awesome.
they started it last year, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And now they're doing this year, and it's already sold out.
Hell yeah.
People, it's like in the middle of the city. It's
It's
Damn.
awesome.
it's amazing, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys would do really well on that.
You
Yeah.
get back there.
For sure.
No
We-
doubt.
We just played with Suicidal 2 weeks ago, and when I say how many people first time seeing us, it was like 85%, even in New York,
I love that.
that never heard the band.
I love that.
And the shows
How
were
is that
so
possible?
sick. I know, shows were sick. It was
Yeah.
H2O, Judge, End It, and Suicidal.
And people had not heard of H2O.
And Judge too, man. It was a whole different world. Like Suicidal's
different
got
world.
diehards.
Hell yeah.
Old ass
Hell yeah.
dudes with the bandanas on, all the gear on, the jerseys,
Yeah.
the hats.
Straight up.
Like it's like a cult, man.
It is, dude. Tattoo. I mean,
Everybody's all the merch.
all the
Yeah.
merch.
My wife, we did one of those what is the cruise like what the
Oh, yeah.
Shipwrecked.
Yep.
Suicidal was on it, and they're like, oh, like for this next one, like anyone wants to come on stage. They got people on stage, right?
Oh, they always.
And I'm like looking around, I like nudge my wife, and I'm like watching whatever, and I'm like not paying attention, and then like I like kind of look, I'm like, the fuck? This my wife's on stage, just like fucking headbanging into Suicidal. I was like, oh, this is the coolest moment of my life right now. This is-
Holy shit.
like just
Yeah, they bring
So
people
good.
on for institutionalized. I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. They did this in Mexico festival. Massive festival. I was like, they're gonna let people on.
this
This
stage is
whole
gonna
stage.
collapse.
I was
yeah.
like, oh my! I was on stage with like
Yeah.
a Warriors vest. Like, yeah.
Dude,
Some dude had-
61 years
Yeah.
old, man.
Yeah.
Mike Mirror.
He's
Oh,
still
they-
crushing,
they
dude.
calling me-
No, Mike Mirror 61. He fucking
Yeah.
kills it, bro.
Kills
It's pretty impressive.
It's
He's
impressive.
got a bad back. He just
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
off,
He goes
dude.
off.
He's got Ty Trujillo
Yeah.
on bass, who's
Yeah.
19, and then the drummer's a 21-year-old kid.
They
like,
always have like the most insane
illest rhythm
musicians.
section, man.
Wasn't the dude
Illustrated.
from Dillinger plays
Yeah.
guitar for
Yeah.
them now,
Yeah.
too?
And the other guy was on Soul Train.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
He's still in this OG dude. Yeah, he was on Soul Train.
The other time I saw him was with the gospel drummer who's like known in the gospel world, and my drummer's
Sick.
like, "Yo, that dude is like one of the illest drummers in the drum."
But like if
world.
Suicidal calls, you're like, yeah, I'll go do that.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's fine.
they know he needs to have like the sickest band always.
Yeah.
I guess
I
the
admire
drummer
that.
blew up on TikTok for doing covers of that movie Whiplash.
Okay.
Oh, really?
That's I heard today.
wow.
But
Crazy.
he's also
Because the
pick-
other drummer is playing now in Offspring with your brother,
That's right.
Brandon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Brandon was playing in Suicide, and I was like, damn, that kid hits hard. He's
And then the
really
drummer
good
from
drummer.
Suicidal plays drums for DJ Premier from Gangstar.
awesome.
He's
Crazy.
a jazz
That's
drummer. He lives in Long
Gospel
Island.
jazz.
It's so
it
crazy,
totally makes
bro.
sense. And Dave Lombardo played.
Insane.
Insane.
I
Just
love
a
the band-
rotating.
Yeah, rotating to sick.
The bands are still playing.
Who?
We all still playing music, man.
I love
It blows
that.
me away. We were
Yeah.
talking about this last night. Like we're both us and Avenged said the same thing on stage. It was like we used to we came up with them. So it's like we used to play like, you know, down the street in Escondido to 4 people or 6 people or 10 people, and like it's been 25 years and now we're just doing this instead. Like this is a crazy thing. Like
Yeah,
it's not lost on us. You know, like that shit keeps me going.
100% keeps
like-
you young too, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's cool as hell, man. Like there's so many bands that you see and it's like you got 5 years or you got 3 years or maybe you got 10. It's like fucking no one gets 25, like 30 years, like shit. Like
Yeah.
it's funny. They always joke because we're like, yeah, the only thing now that sucks about being a band for almost 25 years is you can't lie about your age anymore.
True.
Like it's
Yeah.
like no, yeah, we're 34. We started the band, we're like 6. Like no big deal. Yeah. But it's like we're just old dudes.
It is crazy. How do you balance everything as a parent and touring and stuff like that?
I just try my best to, like, when I'm home, be home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I'm walking
Wow.
my
Be present.
That's smart
walking
that
my
you-
kids to school every
Yeah.
day. I'm going to lunch when I can with them. Like, we're just being as there as I can. And then, but in the States, on most occasions, we just moved to Nashville in August. So this last tour was the first tour they didn't come out on.
Yeah.
But like my wife surprised me and drove to like Ohio or some shit.
Sick.
And like, so I saw them. We try not to go more than 3 weeks without seeing each other.
Yeah.
Europe is the only thing that's been hard so
It's
far.
very hard.
We go to Europe in a couple weeks. That'll be 5 weeks. So, and we did 6 weeks last year, and so
They
that
didn't come out of nothing. Just
No,
FaceTime. Wow.
just FaceTime, and like it affected my
Time difference, all that, dude.
yeah, and it affected my older daughter. Like my younger at the time last year, she's fine. She's just like 5.5. She's just like happy go lucky all the time.
Yeah.
But my older daughter, like she felt it, and like
Really?
there was like a good like week and a half where like she wasn't even interested in talking to me. Because it was like she was just like I'm not getting what I want here, so it's just like, hey dad, like all right, cool, like I'm gonna watch TV. And I was like, oh, just
Damn.
heart stabs. But that's been our huge thing, is just trying to not be away for longer than like 2-3 weeks
Who's
at a
the
time.
tour with in Europe?
It's a headline.
Oh,
It's
nice.
like
Awesome.
our first headline we've done over there in like over a decade.
Who's the open? Do you get to choose the opener?
Yeah, they're in Europe. It's a band called Creeper.
I heard
They're-
that name. Yeah, I heard that name.
Creeper.
Dude, they're
Yeah.
sick. They're
I
like
heard that name.
they kind of started as like a goth like alkaline trio thing, and have like transitioned into like this like their new album sounds like Alice Cooper. It's
Oh,
fucking
wow.
awesome.
Where
They're
are they
like
from?
they're from the UK.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah, I
super
heard that, yeah.
theatrical,
Okay. Yeah.
like cool, like goth band. It's like my like Black Sails AFI era
That's sick.
teenage heart is
Did you
like
get to pick
yes,
the
I love
band?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the
So-
first time though. Like
Cool.
a lot of times, it's like, oh yeah, like these bands are cool enough. Like
Right.
that's fine. This is the first time where our whole band was like, yes, we can
Oh,
get crazy.
wow.
Like our whole band likes this band. So
That's
You
awesome.
haven't heard them yet?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I've
They're
only
cool.
heard good things. I haven't heard them either.
Okay.
yeah, they're
Sweet.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you have like a busy year coming up.
Yeah, we do Europe, then we do Australia, early next year, which is not announced, but whatever, it's gonna announce soon enough.
Right here.
Yeah.
On the One Life One Chance podcast. You heard it
Yeah.
first.
And then we'll probably do like a good amount of the U.S. festivals, tour around those, and then going back to Europe again in the summer.
Yeah, you've
For,
been
like-
playing some of these throwback festivals you've been having.
Yeah,
They've been crazy. We Were Young one. It's fucking massive.
insane,
man, last
bro. It's
weekend.
insane.
we
Yeah,
did
we
last
did.
year when we were young, and
It was awesome.
dude. It was crazy, man.
We
My-
did,
our-
we did all the wind came and like shut down the one day. We
Yeah.
did for that. Wow.
We're literally getting in the car to go to the venue, and our manager, because our manager is one of the people that runs the festival.
Oh, really? It's his
Oh, okay.
fest?
Yeah, and
Wow,
Wow.
that's sick.
and he's
Tell him
like,
he's killing it, man. Wow.
oh, dude, it was funny. We were literally. It's funny that you brought up his brother in Offspring. We were talking last night. We were talking about, because that was just last weekend,
Yeah.
and he was like, dude, he's like, best sounding band of the whole weekend was the Offspring.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's
That's
like,
sick.
they crushed it.
Tom Morse represent.
How big is that festival? A couple 100,000? It's gotta be.
They do
Couple
like
100. Come on.
no, they're doing like 50,000 a day, but it's still
What?
Bro?
yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah, you were like a couple hundred.
Oh, yeah, my
thousand. I
bad.
was
Couple
I
hundred's
thought-
like that's like Coachella.
My bad. I thought it was 3 days. I
100,000.
heard it was 3 days. I thought it was like 100,000 a day or something.
It's like
Fucking-
50,
Yeah, yeah,
60,000 a
Still
day.
great though, man.
I
It's
know,
amazing.
It's only gonna get. I mean, I don't know how much bigger they can get with the bands they have.
I think you're just shifting
Blink,
into like
Green
what
Day.
the thing is. Yeah, because I was like at this point, I asked him, I'm like, what's next? You've now used all of the bands.
100%.
Like, so it's like I think you shift into like maybe some cool like special occasion shit, or you get someone back together. I don't know what they're gonna do, but
I heard some rumors that the Warped Tour is coming back.
why would it not?
I know that shit would
But
crush right now.
Here's the hard thing: is like I love Lyman. He's given us so many opportunities, but I think that it's hard for the adaptation to realize that you got to like pay people, and like everyone's not okay with just a case of beer and a case of water. And
Everybody's a lot older.
Older
with
now,
families
and yeah.
responsibility. Yeah.
And it's like I remember back in the day, it was like, yeah, Warped Tour, like you might not get paid crazy, but merch is gonna kill it, and you're like,
and good exposure.
and good exposure, and you're
Yeah.
like, cool. But like I think like now it's just like there's so many big bands that are like, I don't need a Warped Tour. I'll just go do my own tour. Like,
Right.
same with like Ozfest, and there used to be Uproar and all these kind of festivals. It's like, well, now it's like, well, eventually just go do a tour and headline, or Disturbed will do a tour and headline it.
Yeah.
And it's like there's the same amount of people.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So
Did you have to pay to play on Ozfest?
the first year we did.
Yes.
Wow.
We were talking about this last night. $75K, which is
Yeah.
insanely. Tony Brummel coughed up. Not only did he pay for the bus, he paid for the bus.
All right, shout out to Tony for that.
Yeah, that's the only good thing he ever did.
It's insane to think. I mean, do you guys ever get angry at the fact that everything is so out of balance, like with artists and musicians, where as far as money is concerned, where
we talk about
artists getting absolutely the lowest on the totem pole as far as like management, booking agents, record labels, Spotify's, things like. Why is in the history of music that the artist is getting
first
way below?
Dude, motherfucker.
And it's frustrating. It's like so aggravating.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
always
It's
joke
like,
like
case of beer and,
the sad thing is, you think about it, it's like being in a band it's a business, right? And it's like, like our guitar player is always like, dude, what's #1 rule in business, man? Like, boss man eats last. And it's like, it's true. Like, it's like, if we weren't here doing this, no one would eat.
Right.
Yeah.
But but no one would make anything. But it's like, but then we get like you get the crumbs.
You do, man.
And hopefully your crumbs are big enough to survive,
I'm trying to teach my son that too.
backwards.
Like we do these
Right.
weekend shows.
Yeah.
We know how much we're making.
And it's
The
good
band
money,
talks
man.
about it, then it's like you got to pay the business manager, the booking agent, the flights, the hotels, all that. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
And we're like, we went through the ringer. Like we did our time as like stupid kids that were like, yeah, we should totally get 2 buses. And like we showed up to
2 buses at one point.
We showed up to we did a Taste of Chaos tour. It was like
Sick tour.
Deftones, Thrice, all these bands, right?
Ooh,
all these, and we show up.
That's a big one.
Fucking, we're the only band on the whole tour that has 2 buses. Deftones has 1. Atreyu's got 2. And then like the tour ends, and you're like, we could. Hey, how much more money? We did 2 buses for an entire record cycle.
Oh my!
And then we did the math at the end of the cycle.
US.
In the U.S.
Yeah.
We did the math, and we were like, each of us could have made an extra $40,000 this year.
Oh my!
And we're like, never again. And since then, it's like we're skeleton crew. Like, we like.
Who was in those buses, man? Just a band?
Straight
How
up.
big was your crew?
Band
We had-
bus, crew bus, I'm sure.
We had
right?
2 guitar techs, monitor, drum tech, front of house merch, lights.
So many.
But bro, we were taking 5 or 6 of us, condo bunks. Back then it was like it wasn't even band and crew. Back then, like half of our band like partied and like smoked weed and stuff.
Oh, so there you go.
And then me and our bass player at the time, like we drank and stuff, but we were like very mellow. So like you go to their bus and it'd be like sticky floors and people were just like raging. And then our bus was straight up like vanilla Roma candles. He's in the back like reading a book. Me and my wife were like front lounge watching like a rom-com. Like it was ignorant, dude. But it was like it was amazing. But it was like we are stupid as fuck.
Wow.
But since then, it's like there's always a crew member on our team now that has to do 2 jobs. So we had drum tech and TM. It's like, monitor guy, like, no, front of house is doing that. Like, it's just a rig and that's fine. It's like,
I hear you, man.
Damn.
One guitar
have to
tech, no
break
matter
it
what.
down to the bare minimum. I mean, now we fortunately have a guy that can do
double duty
monitors, and tour manage.
Yeah, the tour manager for Suicidal was selling merch.
Yeah.
On this run.
I feel like it's like you have to.
Yeah.
And nowadays too, everyone just wants to sell merch. We always joke like with tipping culture, merch is like the best job to be.
And if you're a sick merch person, you can.
Especially coming out of the pandemic, it seems even more for tipping. Like,
it's crazy. Well, you think about it. I'd say 98% of your sales are on card. So you turn a thing around for people to sign their tip, and it says $1, $2, $3. It doesn't say, "Would you like to leave a tip?"
It's true.
So they just pick something. So it's like, I mean, dude, there's like merch people that are making like $3 to $5K a week in tips.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. And if God, we've had some really good guys doing our merch.
Yeah.
They love what they do, and it really rings in, It's just like, wow, they're making good money.
For sure.
But they work their ass off.
They work the hardest.
Yeah.
They straight up work the hardest.
Jesus.
Longest hours, everything.
Yeah.
We have a dude in UK, this will be the second time he's done work for us, and like, who's like rung up printers in freaking Budapest. Like, we're there in 2 days. I don't know you, but I need merch in 2 days. And then we get there and it takes like a 45-minute courier ride by himself to pick up 13 boxes of merch. Like, rider.
That's
like,
cool.
Right.
yeah. Like, there's a big difference between good merch people and
Absolutely.
We just felt the new no percentages at Live Nation venues that they just announced. So we got a $750 gas card.
Yeah.
And $750 cash at the Live Nation venues. They give it to you now.
And
they take no percent.
They're doing that for what? Like a couple? They're like doing that for like a year or something like that.
Yeah, until the end of the year.
I know. It wasn't that
kind of sick though.
It's dope. Wasn't it kind of a bit of a Band-Aid though? It was like a
he did a deep dive when he first announced it. I went crazy.
I did the same thing. I was like, whoa, and I'm like, oh, how many venues for how long? I'm like,
is it certain?
That's like 2% of your. Yeah.
Is it certain size bands too, or no?
I don't know. I think it's so. Yeah. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. It's a step in the right direction.
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to piss on it or anything because there are bands that can absolutely use that.
Yeah.
It's so useful.
Yeah, we're still using those gas cards out here right now.
Straight up. I just think we just need to do a bank statement roulette at the end of the night. Promoter gets out their bank statement, and then the band gets out their bank statements, and whichever one's bigger doesn't take money. Just like, yeah. How much money do you have?
Dude, that'd be sick.
We win again.
So you think it's only for the end of the year?
No, it is.
And then what happens next year?
They'll either figure something else out or modify it, or
people will forget.
It'll go away until people talk about it again.
Until like, what happened to?
Yeah. It was such a sick headline.
Well, there was such uprising about it that like they needed to do something to not just be like straight up devil and Satan incarnate. Like you have to like try, and it's a step in the right direction.
But why do they need our merch money? I never understood that, man.
Greedy,
they don't.
I know it's
they don't. They got
the bar. They got the crazy ass price.
Fucking parking. They got parking, bro.
Parking.
When's the last time, dude? I fucking the last couple times when I've gone to the Forum.
Right.
And it's like
$60.
Dude, I'll Uber from Orange County. When I lived in Orange County, I would Uber from Orange County there and back, and it'd still be cheaper than parking.
Damn.
Parking is where it's at.
Yeah.
I know with like NFL games I went to, and I was like here in Cali, and I was just like, yo.
It's like $60.
It's
for like the bad parking.
Yeah, for bad parking. Then like good parking was like $150, something like that. There's like thousands of people there parking, and then the people would be like, okay, it's $150, but give me $100. And they were doing like these weird deals, and it's like it was such. But there's so much money involved in any of those games, like just the parking lot, not even stepping in with the tickets, the beer sales, and everything.
It's like at this point, like these dudes they don't care if you sell tickets,
right?
It's like as long as there's enough people in there like drinking. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's funny. Like we've literally had shows where it's like, okay, maybe this is kind of a dud, you know, like, oh, this is kind of a stinker on the tour, like random city, whatever. And promoters are like, man, great night tonight, man. Like your people drink. It's like, oh, you don't even care.
Give us a percentage
bad
of
tickets.
That.
Yeah, like the bar did great, so you're fine.
Damn. I think about like Taylor Swift doing like $14 million a night on this tour. Like,
dude,
what that percent was.
Taylor Swift was literally like shifting the economy of cities.
Yeah.
Like
wow.
Having the Taylor Swift show in your town was like having the Olympics in your town.
Wow. Yeah,
it was nuts.
The destruction.
Yeah, without the exactly. But it was like crazy. Like you were seeing like hotels, restaurants,
in their
car services, Uber, everything.
Like they're bringing in, just spending money. It's like
great
creating a lot of jobs and. Yeah.
People want to shit on Taylor Swift. It's like she's doing more for the American economy than I think anyone else, potentially.
Wow.
It's insane.
I heard there's like 18-wheelers just pulling up a merch.
Dude, that's crazy.
They're doing like 4 or 5 semis of merch a day.
Yeah.
Imagine that. And then doing whatever she's getting guaranteed.
She's tipping out. You heard about the end of tour? $100K to every truck driver. It was like $3 million in bonuses. Hey, thanks for being with me.
It's pretty sick, man.
Go change your.
Even if it's a tax write-off, it's still a nice gesture.
Go change your life.
I love it. I think that's amazing.
I think it's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
I know. I just think things can be switched around. If there's enough people aware, like artists, musicians, to really just fight for better rights for. Just, I mean, they're fighting this in the film industry to get paid.
True.
It's
that strike was what months? It just ended.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they can pay artists more money for streams. They can pay leave our merch alone. They can do all these things. It's just like it's just going to be a matter of the sad part is that you're not looking at the person that's doing it. You're looking at the 5 rungs up of the corporation that owns all this thing that we're a small piece of. Right. It's like you just got to keep your head down and like. You get that mentality like we all come from the same place where like we started these things and wanted to be in bands because we were kids that like thought this was awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like, we didn't care about the money. It's like, you want to go play some songs you wrote and like have someone feel something that you feel.
Totally.
But they fucking took that.
They took it, but I can say like my happiest moments is when I just like keep my head down and like try to stay there. Be in that moment. So because it's like, you want to be smart and do good business and like you can't be taken advantage of, but it's like there's certain things that like I can't change. So it's like, just go do what you did to be here and everything will work out. It's like, you hope at least. I'm hopeful that's
a good attitude to think about though.
I think it is. But I also think that keeping your head down, but also keeping your eyes open.
100%.
I think, it's a collective. There's a lot of power in the collective. And I think if you unite, a lot of people within the scene.
The unfortunate thing is like the people that would need to unite and come together are the people that probably don't care as much.
True.
Because they don't have to, because they're millionaires. Like if you took Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, Post Malone, The Weeknd, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Metallica, all these bands, like if you took the biggest of the big in every genre, right? And you got 100 artists together.
Yes.
The biggest in every genre, and got them all to say, okay, you know what? You change or we take all of our music off your platform.
Facts.
Wow. It would change for everybody. But
absolutely.
The unfortunate thing is like, like Atreyu and Sepultura and H2O and bands in our realm, even like in like the Avenged Sevenfold realm or the Disturbed realm, they're not going to move the needle. But if like the biggest of the big,
true,
it would be it's like the Robin Hood.
Yeah.
It's like the big guys would have to be standing up for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it would work.
Yes.
It would work.
I think it would shake
Maybe just
lot.
a couple of them that you mentioned.
I mean, it would radically change, but I think that's...
It's what it would take.
Yeah.
And it's like, and those people could do it and like not suffer the consequences.
I agree.
And I think that the big dogs would be running with a pen to sign. Oh, just do what they want. Like we're about to crumble if we don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh well.
That's a great point.
Now there's another. Do this, or we're starting our own platform where we pay bands equally, and now
Spotify
tried. Yeah. Well, and I think the only thing that was there that was hard with Tidal because the quality was there, the exclusivity was cool, but the price point was a little too high. You know what I mean? And like, not everyone can afford that, or not everyone cares about lossless audio and all this stuff. Like the normal fan is like listening to music on their iPhone speaker.
Yeah.
Like my brother-in-law listens to fucking music. It's like, I want to listen to this fucking Newfound Glory song. He pulls up the video on YouTube and I'm like, this is the shittiest version you can listen to, but that's just what what he does.
Really a big point there. Yeah, you're right.
But YouTube probably gets a lot of his streams from like music.
Yeah.
People just watching videos all day.
For sure.
You're right.
It's huge.
Maybe just as much as Spotify.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So crazy.
I don't know. It's just something that, as much as I don't want to like focus on that, because again, we all got into music for a reason of the joy that it brings, and it's incredible when you do focus and do your best and you see the fruit of that. A lot of things come from that. Just staying focused to what you truly believe in.
Yeah.
So I can't, piss on that. But at the same time, I don't want to let go of the idea.
You want what's due to you. Like you want what you should
I
get.
want everybody to reap that, because I see everyone working so hard.
I want being in a band to be as cool as everyone thinks being in a band is.
Yeah, that's a great fucking point, man.
Right.
Like everyone's like,
so
man,
bro.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like still driving a Kia, but it's a dope Kia. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's a freaking hybrid. Like
that's a good point.
That's
a
great point.
It's there, but if it's true, like I think that you're right though. You want to keep the focus in the right spot.
Yeah,
and it's like I think that above everything with anything in life, if you just like try to keep your intentions in check, like the rest usually will work out pretty good.
Yeah,
at least it has for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like we're all in our early to mid 40s, and it's like we still have a lot to prove and a lot to like go for. So it's like our band is like kids. We're in the dressing room like listening to our favorites and like like circle pitting before we go on stage. Like
I love that, man.
And it's like the spirit of that is there. So it's like, let's just keep our heads down and not worry about anything but doing this.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that's
why you guys are still doing it too.
Yeah.
Well,
it is. And it's you don't lose the there's a magic there.
Yeah.
That can't be recreated. I was watching this interview the other day with Billy Corgan, and he was like, everyone's saying it's like to make another, Melancholy. And it's like, do you realize the person I was when I made Melancholy?
Exactly.
Like I was the alternative band that was not big enough or not as big as Nirvana, and was not as big as like the other. There was like bands that were ahead of them that I was just like fighting for, and I was just like angst ridden, like young kid that was clawing at my place, and that made that music. He's like, I could do that all day, but why would I? I'm not that person
anymore.
Like it's not going to be the same thing. It's like,
I agree.
If you can hold on to an ounce of the fucking magic that being able to do what we do is, like, it's the best shit in the world.
Yeah, we're so lucky, man.
Yeah.
Do we still love it and enjoy it?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Do you have any major regrets in your life?
I probably should have taken better care of my health. I've focused on it more now than I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
I didn't used to give a shit about anything. And
it's
I'm
like
not
shitty diet, shitty whatever.
Just shitty everything, shitty diet. Like I've been up and down like my weight my whole life. That's been my main struggle. It's like focusing on it more in my like late 30s, early 40s. It's like better late than never. But
totally.
Other than that, like I feel like everything else is panned out pretty all right. Like I've been married to the same woman for 16 years. We've been together for 20.
Congrats.
Like
awesome.
Picked the right wife. My kids are great. Like love my friends, love my band. So it's
That's
like
amazing.
I don't think I've made a lot of missteps. And even in like the negatives that I've gone through or that the band's gone through, it's like you had to go through those to get to where like today wouldn't be in existence if I didn't like learn from the other shit, and time had to pass. We had to learn lessons. You had to go through things. So I don't think of a lot of regrets. Awesome. Really. Yeah.
You have any daily rituals?
I'm the most unregimented human on earth. I'm trying though. I'm trying to like do like the breathwork thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Like the Wim Hof shit or whatever.
Yeah, like the 30. What is it? Like the 3 sets of 30 kind of like thing, and just like I'm trying to.
How's your stress level?
Strangely horrible, but I brush it off.
Yeah.
Like my parents are very just like, my dad's super hippie dude, like to this day just like chills and smokes weed, and
nice.
And it's just like whatever, man. Like my mom like my mom's bounced around thing to thing in life. Never, she's just kind of a boss at like this is my new thing I mastered, cool, I'm good at it, like no stress. So like I don't really like, I kind of stuff bounces off me pretty good, but like there's a good amount of internal stress that is like turns my beard gray and probably like makes my heart beat harder than it should.
Yeah.
But it's like working out those things to try and like, do the breath work. We started kind of doing like the ice bath thing on tour.
Yeah,
to, like,
let's go.
For like not only recovery, but to like to have that 3 moments of like mental.
It's incredible.
Like, you know what I mean? Like starting to implement those things
yeah.
that just make you feel good. You know
That's
what I mean?
awesome. Doing that shit on tour. That's sick.
Dude, it's the best, dude. on the Maiden shows, British dude comes in. He's like, all right, so I'm looking at you riding, like just double checking everything. He's like, you got bottle of tequila, some seltzers, Topo Chico, got it for you, right? The bottom says 70 pounds of ice. And we're like, yeah. And he's like, for your drinks. And I'm like, no, we got an ice bath. He's like, the fuck is an ice bath?
So what do you have with you? What do you bring with you?
We got like one of the portable ones, and it's funny because it kind of only works if like in an arena setting. It's great. You put it in like the kind of like club, team showers.
Dressing room.
You turn one on, let it fill for like an hour. Cool. It takes forever, but you need 70 pounds of ice.
You do,
but it's like a good solid 30 to get it cold, and then it's the other 30 to keep it cold while people are in it. But me and our guitar player were crushing like before and after show.
Nice.
And just yelling at each other, just like in there, just like, woo, like you feel like you fucking feel like Superman.
You do,
dude. Have you done a pre-show? Like, have you done a plunge or an ice bath within an hour of going on stage?
No.
Talk about, I mean,
it's a crazy natural high.
It'll be the closest thing you ever knew to being high as hell.
Exactly.
I
have in the backyard a plunge.
Yeah, you got the legit one though. Yeah. You got like the fucking creme de la creme of the system. Yeah.
But I like to have that on tour. I mean,
on tour would be
so sick.
We did it in like a regular shower,
tour, man.
And then like we're like, oh cool, this is gonna be great. Filled it up, whatever. Like crushed it with ice, and then I went to go empty it, and I realized that the tub was over the plug in the shower.
Oh shit.
And you're talking like you can't just lift it. It's full of water. So we ended up flooding the whole bathroom, and like there was like another like drain in the shower, but we're like mopping this thing. We're like, yeah, we need a bigger. So we've done it a couple days, just like outside the bus, or outside the van, just set it up with a hose and then dump it. And
so cool, man.
Dude, it's crazy. The last couple maiden shows, we got our entire crew, like one by one by one. Like, okay, your turn. You're in. And like most of these had never done it before. And they're just like, oh, okay, fine, I'll go. Yeah. Yeah. But then they all loved it. Like everyone's in a good mood. Yeah. Like it's awesome.
It's so good for your mental, everything, man. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to do like I've been a dude who like never focused on my mental health. I never like felt the need to, what I mean? I wasn't like, I've never gone through tons of anxiety or depression until like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of one of those things, just getting older. There's, the anxiety of just like supporting a family and moving and all these things. And just like trying to like dig into that. Cause I'm also a dude, like everything brushes off. So I don't like think about things all that often.
Yeah.
So it's not, I also have never like sat and been like, let's dissect my feelings and find out why I feel this way today.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, do those little things that can just help you go, like can just take you to a level that is good.
Yeah.
The breathing, the ice baths. Like I'm horrible with water. I drink not enough water ever, which I'm a singer.
What do you drink instead?
Nothing.
Okay.
I just terrible. I mostly drink water. Like I might crush like a Diet Coke. I mean, I drink alcohol, but it's like, it's just like during the day, it'll be 3:00 in the afternoon. And I'm like, why do I feel like shit? It's like, oh, you've drank no water today. Like,
So yeah. Start carrying those big jugs. People carrying like fucking 2 or 3 gallons.
Dude, I do those at home. The ones with the little like positive affirmations on the thing. It's like, you got this. Like halfway through the day, like, you know what I mean? Crushing it.
So you have that at your house?
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's great. But I'm trying. I realize my wife says like, gotta respect that age. Like, gotta respect that number. So we're not spring
and you're
chickens.
Young still.
How old are you now?
I'm 40.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm 40, but it's like, I don't know how you guys felt at 40. I turned 40 and like within a week, there was all these weird things that never happened before. Like I'm like in the shower and like reach too far. And I'm like, oh, like my rib just pop out. I tried to hop a fence the other day at my kid's school. It's like a 3 foot, like as tall as this table, little fence. And like got on the top and it did like the fence wiggle, which in like your 20s, you're ripping it. You jump over. Like I landed, threw my whole back out. Was like, what? Like I can't jump fences anymore. So like I need to get, I'm trying to reverse.
Take walks and shit.
Yeah, there's a real nice path by my house where like walk the kids to school, walk back through the woods and stuff. It's cool.
That's awesome.
So, trying to do all the things I should have done. That's like back to the regret question. Trying to do things now that I should have been doing since I was 20.
Yeah,
because I'd be in a different. I'd be in a different position.
40 is really young though.
It's really young though. To tell you the truth,
I'm 53. He's 53.
Yeah, and you guys both look.
How old are you? I'm 53.
Yeah, you're older than me.
You guys look young as fuck. Man. You guys both look young as fuck.
Thank you.
But you got you're smart too. Like you not drinking, no drugs, doing all these things. Smart. Even like your diet. Like obviously you're like, I know. Yeah. But like you got 25-year-old skin. Like, you know what I mean? Like you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like I beat up.
So you party hard as you used to party?
No, like I've never been like a rager. I'll drink and like I'll do hallucinogenics sometimes, but I've never been into like hard drugs. I never smoked weed. Ignorantly smoked cigarettes for like a small period of time when I was younger, but like nothing ever like crazy.
Yeah.
Never nothing out of control. I was always like the mellow dude in the band.
Nice.
So, but yeah.
Well, you still got a long road ahead of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like,
really.
I want to be around. Like not. It's like I want to be around for my band. I want to be around for my kids. Yeah. So it's like I don't. Like, if we play our cards right, we've gone 25 years. Like,
for sure,
we could hit another 15, 20 if we play our cards right.
Yeah.
100%. So it's like, I want to be able to do that.
Sounds like you've been playing your cards right this whole time, man. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, for sure.
Fucking awesome. So the new record comes out the 4th.
Yeah, the final EP of the cycle, and then the full length comes out after that. But yeah, a lot of just ridiculousness, a lot of stupid videos and ridiculous moments. We also just threw our give a fuck button out the window on this last one and are just trying to be as clearly us as possible, which is just like
so nice. Yeah,
it does. So like our music. I mean, if you have a good 20 minutes to kill, just look at some of our new videos and they're all.
Yeah, I'm curious.
What about social media? You spend a lot of time on social media.
A little too much.
Yeah.
I get caught in the doom scroll pretty hard.
Everybody's got that.
Late at night.
Dark.
Yeah.
Falling down
It's just
that
like,
hole.
it's like, oh, I'm going to go, like, I'm on tour and lay in my bunk and go to bed. And then it's like,
yeah.
and then 2 hours later, you're like, why am I not asleep?
And falling asleep to a screen's bad for
Horrible.
us, dude.
Yeah.
Horrible. But yeah, too much.
You
that's
check
the
your
good
messages and you respond to comments and stuff too?
sort of. Like, I'll check stuff, and I'll, if people are just like cool and encouraging, I'll respond. If I get like the psycho kind of vibe, I won't respond and open the door. But I do love, obviously, like, we've always been like a band that got shit talked. I do, especially now. There's like, there's the like, fuck you guys, bring Alex back crew that lives on YouTube.
Okay.
But what I love
on YouTube,
mostly just YouTube.
which ain't a real place, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, they're in that neighborhood. But I
Next
love
to Twitter. Yeah.
I love roasting like like, you guys sucked since you lost your singer, and I'll comment with like, roasted us, like, just like, oh damn, you got us. Yeah, or people that throw, like, if people go deep into like something like hateful, where you're like, damn, you respond as if they said something really nice, and then that just fires them up to like, oh, I wasn't like, it's like then they treat it like you can't read.
On them,
yeah, like, dude, thank you so much for the support. Like, it's fans like you that keep us going. Like, fuck you, I hate your band. You're like, once again, like, so just I love the occasional,
right?
But yeah, I mean, I just like, I look at stupid shit on the internet.
Yeah, there's a bunch of dumb
I love watching like tagging videos. Like, I love, like, we were joking. We were in Spain, and we started joking, me and our drummer, and we were saying that we're going to start a tagging crew called Kings of Graph. It probably exists. And we came up with like our tag handles and shit. And we're in Barcelona, and we stopped at some gallery, and I bought like a piece of art, and I was like, yeah, I want to start tagging. He's like, it's not too late, dude. I'm like, yeah, I want to start tagging at 40. That's like my new thing. Like, that's gonna be my hobby, and like, I have friends, like my buddy Tall's like big in the graffiti world, and like, I know dudes that like could probably teach me how to do some graffiti.
Yeah.
And he's like, cool, man. He's like, let's do it. And he threw me a can. He's like, anywhere you want. So I'm like in like some art like gallery tagging, but
what's your tag game?
Bruiser.
Sick.
Yeah,
that's hard.
And I draw this like a little skull thing, and it's horrible, but
that's fucking awesome.
I figured what better hobby? But I love watching graffiti videos. Yeah, just getting arrested and shit. Like,
Dad, what are you doing out there,
dude? A lot of our friends, like some of our bands, have like, we were straight edge when we were younger, which that doesn't count. I know.
But I don't care.
But like, we would all be like 18, like we were like 17, 18, right? And we played laser tag.
Sick.
And we'd all buy the packs, whatever. Would be like in our neighborhoods playing laser tag, and the cops would always get called. And they would like sit us all down, like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, playing laser tag. Like, how old are you guys? Give me your IDs. And like, all right, where's the booze? Like, where's the drugs? And we're like, there's no booze, man. They're like, what are you guys doing? We're like, we're playing laser tag. And like, more cops gave us like nerds, like get out, go home, like, you know what I mean, like, couldn't. But
that is fucking funny.
Just stupid hobbies that'll get you arrested as an adult. That's great. At 40, to get my wife to bail me out, you
an optimist or pessimist?
Optimist. Like toxic optimist.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
toxic positivity, they call it. That's a thing I heard too.
Really? Okay.
I
that means, but
I'm like, to the detriment of our management and some of my friends, like, we in my house, we always say, we don't say I can't, we say I can or I'll try. And I believe in that. So it's like, I hate when people tell me no. It's like, that's not happening. It's like, yeah, it is. Why can't it happen? It's happened for people. Like, why can't? Sure, it sure can happen. Like, I'm optimistic about everything. Even like tours would be like, oh, this tour's going good. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be half sellouts, guys. And they're like, yeah, it's not looking. I'm like, watch, half sellouts. It's gonna be half sellouts. Trust me. It's like, you just gotta have that frame of mind.
You've always been like that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Super positive.
That's probably why you're still doing it too.
Yeah, I think
Never
so.
stop believing too,
No, yeah. I think I believe in myself too much.
It's working though.
Yeah. I'm doing okay. We're doing all right.
Sometimes being over positive can like bum people out, and they want to be so negative.
Bums people out.
Yeah,
It's
crazy that people get bummed if somebody's happy though.
There's a perfect example. My buddy Matty, he sings in the band Memphis Mayfire, and I moved down the street from him. He lives in Nashville too. One of those guys, right? That when I first met him, you're like, I don't know about this dude. Like, where's the dark? Where's the cloak that's going to be unveiled? And like, where's all the weird shit you do at home? And then you get to know him, and you find out that he's got his own, history with depression and anxiety. And he's a religious dude. He's like got a great relationship with that. And it's like, he's not a pusher about it. He just has his ways.
Totally.
And it's like, you come to realize that you're like, oh, like, I think your like overt positivity is how you combat your dark side.
Totally.
But also like it's real. I've seen you at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday at your house, like recording a vocal with you, and I've seen you on stage, and I've seen you every which way, and you're the same person. So it's like, it's funny because I even like some of our dudes when we first started touring with them, they're like, I don't know if Maddie's real or not. I'm like, no, he is. Like, wait 4 weeks and you'll get it.
How can somebody be that happy?
All the time, yeah. Especially like our guitar player Travis is like, he's the just like like I don't know. Everything with him, it's like I don't know if we could do that. It's like, why can't we? He's that guy, but it's like
everybody's got a band member like that.
Oh yeah.
You positive in your band?
Me? Yeah, extremely.
Yeah. The whole band seems pretty positive though.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
when are you guys playing LA again?
Excuse me. I probably not till like next year. We
gotta do a part 2, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We gotta do a part 2.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
To.
Like I feel like we have to go to the show, but we don't have to go to the show. I just want to see what time it is for us because I want to keep talking. But like, I just feel like we could talk to you for way longer, man.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it.
Great energy, great fucking hang.
No doubt.
You have more questions for him? Hang on a second.
It's like reconnecting.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember one of the shows specifically. It was in Germany, in the place that you play. It's like a subway or a metro.
Yeah.
Down in the basement, and I remember that because I had to do the deadly bag on the bus. I was just like,
no,
there was like no like backstage for that show, and I remember specifically, I was just like, oh man.
There's nothing worse than having to do that. It's the most uncomfortable,
really degrading, like, horrible, uncomfortable thing. But I just felt so good, like afterwards.
Oh yeah,
I was just like, oh my god,
triumphant.
This show can go on. But I just remember that specifically because there was like no like real bathroom. Like down there was just like a public like
yeah. Oh, like no one's going there, especially in like Germany.
It's just like, I'm getting ready to go on. There's like fans in the bathroom.
Yeah, you're like, can I get in there real quick?
Can I get an autograph from you like when you're done?
Yeah. Can I wash my hands first? Yeah. Did I remember there's one show that'll go down in history as like one of my most memorable things. We played, I think it was Zurich, and the stage was tiny.
Yes.
And you guys set up and and like that was the first tour where we were like, oh cool, like you play in front of the headliner stuff, and it was like cool. And that show I was like, man, this is gonna be like I can't even fit a drum kit. And Igor comes up and he's like, so the drums today? I'm like, yeah. Like I thought he was gonna be like, we're gonna take ours down. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of rough. He's like, just play mine. And I'm like,
that's sick.
What? He's like, is that okay? And in my head, like my head's exploding. Like my childhood me is doing backflips. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, he goes, just don't move stuff around too much. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. And then I go sit. And if anyone's ever paid attention to
drummers never
how Igor
drummers share their drums,
no,
his drum set up.
He's got a snare drum as low as possible, where there's a hi-hat supposed to be, there's a ride, and the hi-hat's on the other side, and then there's just floor toms, what seem to be 4 feet in the air, and you have to like, and they're flat. So I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, this is so sick. I'm playing Igor Cavalera's drums.
It's a weird.
That's fucking dope.
On the other hand, I'm like, cannot play them, and then I broke one of his cymbals. And I was like,
remember the shit?
I was horrified to be like,
that's
dude,
fucked.
I'm like, he's going to kill me, right? But then that was the first time I realized like, oh, when you're in like a substantially larger band, like you just have cymbals. It's going to be okay. Like there's another,
it's not the only one for the whole tour.
There's another one. Yeah. It's not like teenage me. They're like, man, I got to save up to buy another cymbal.
Yeah. Those toms are crazy. I remember
if we order Uber now, we'll get there by 8:15. They play at 8:15.
Okay.
I don't want you to miss your show.
We just haven't seen this band in 30 years.
Like childhood.
Dude,
childhood. He was here earlier. We did a podcast right before you.
I had the same thing.
You want to go with us? What are you doing?
I gotta go back to San Diego. If I didn't have to fly out of San Diego tomorrow at 8 a.m., I would go with you.
Because I would have you back on tomorrow, man.
8 a.m.
But the Indecision Records 30-year anniversary show was like a couple months ago.
You came off of that?
Yeah, it was the last thing I did before I moved.
Oh yeah.
And it was like Throwdown original lineup, Adamantium.
That was your going away show.
Yeah, I went hard. Bro.
You did?
I was straight up fully like pit mode.
Wow.
Like I was pouring sweat. I was like a 16-year-old kid.
It's awesome. I saw the footage. It's amazing, dude.
You know Biggie?
Yeah, of course.
When I was growing up, it was like it wasn't a show unless Biggie jumped on your head.
And this happened?
Straight up. I was a teenager again. Biggie jumped on my face. I got like punched in the face in the pit. Damn. It was so sick.
How's Nashville compared to where you moved here from? Growing up out there?
Mellow. So cool.
You love it?
I love it. I'm like just south, so not in the city, but like it's so chill and different. And I've been in Southern California my whole life, so
you don't miss California?
I miss burritos. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Not the ocean and shit?
Dude, I lived 1 mile from the beach for 17
You
years,
never went
and
there.
I went to the beach I think like 15 times.
Damn. Okay,
Like,
respect.
Took advantage of it, but
yeah.
I'm not like I like the ocean. It was just like never something.
Is your wife from Nashville?
No, she's from like Central California.
Okay, so it's just a whole family move.
Just like change of pace. Yeah.
Think you ever come back?
If the band blows the fuck up and I got plenty of money to spend on a house,
right?
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
you
much.
Probably got a nice crib. Yeah, it's
much more
you could
affordable.
buy so many. I know, man.
But yeah, it's nice. I mean, I would love to come back. I'm hoping. I think some of my family and stuff will end up migrating out that way.
Yeah,
because they all like they like all the same things I like about it. So it's like makes sense. Especially as a writer, I've been walking in the same doors for 20 years as a writer. So it's like let's go walk in some new doors and see what happens. And,
that's nice. Change is good. It's just scary sometimes.
It's horrifying. But
I don't know where I go. We own this house since 2004. It's like I don't know what I would do if we moved. Like if we sold it, I couldn't afford to live here.
I feel like this is like a Los Angeles landmark. Like you can never sell this house. Like
I know.
Like I pulled up, I'm like, this house is pink. You're the only pink house in the whole like. It's like this
There's
is
so much history in this house since we got it. We bought with Chap in Newfound Glory.
Oh, sick.
So he got married, moved away to Nashville. Then he had a bunch of
he lives out there now.
Yeah, people living downstairs for a while. Turnstiles. Every band would stay. It was like a hardcore.
So you guys own the whole thing.
We do now. We bought it from but we had it for years, and he was the landlord down there. We were up here. So many cool bands would stay there. It was a lot of memories here. You know?
That's awesome.
But now we own it. We painted pink like less than a year ago. It was my wife's dream to have a pink house. And
that's sick.
Yeah, it's a pink podcast.
Never sell it. Just turn this into like the punk rock museum in Vegas. Just turn this into like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to bring fuck this show. Make it. What you want to do, man?
We gotta go to the show.
Yeah. I don't want you to miss your show. It's so good.
Fucking traffic, man.
I know.
Lost an hour with you, but I might call you on the phone and talk to you some more. That's cool.
We'd love that.
Because I feel like we're just getting warm, like we're just getting into it with them. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
But I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
It's so cool. Like we met probably a million times throughout the years, and it was cool getting email. Like I forgot to hit me up about having you on here, but I'm glad it worked out.
Stoked. Yeah, me too.
This is
super
awesome.
cool for me as well.
It's an awesome surprise.
Hell yeah.
Anything else for you, Derek?
What's that?
Anything else for you?
I'm sure there will be after.
Like damn it, we'll write this down for part 2.
No, I do a lot. I have a call with Travis tomorrow. We did a podcast that comes out Monday, but I've called Travis 3 times. We keep having these phone calls of more things we're talking about.
Yeah.
I love shit like that. Most of my pods have a phone call at the end, so
that's cool.
If I think about more shit, I'll call you on the phone. And
absolutely.
I really appreciate your time of being here. People can find you on social media. You have a personal account on there too?
Yeah, the Brandon Saller. Instagram is the main thing. Obviously, Atreyu officials, everything else.
You run all the social?
For the most part.
Yeah.
We're all kind of on there peeking, but for the most part. Yeah.
All right, D-Block.
All right. All right.
Thank you for being here.
Of course. Thanks for having me, man. This is awesome.
Thank you, brother. Bye. Okay, back in the pod with Brandon Atreyu. For the listeners, he came a couple weeks ago. He's an Uber. I didn't realize he was coming from San Diego. If I knew that, I would have freaking changed my plans. But we got a lot done in an hour and a half for the listeners because you just finished it right now. I just want to make this, add a phone call to it. But how are you, man? How you doing, Brandon? Good?
I'm doing good, man. Just chilling in Spring Hill, Tennessee.
Good, man. We kind of just kind of went over Hella High Water. I want to talk about that a little bit again because we just mentioned it during the pod we would get into. But you had a record, and an EP out, and so it was like a legit solo thing you were doing for a while.
Yeah, I mean when Atreyu went on hiatus in 2011, I basically didn't stop. I just kind of already was working on other music and what was gonna be a solo thing. Excuse me, and I kind of just didn't even miss a step. And then we did one tour. I kind of got a band together, and we did a tour as kind of just my solo project. And then I kind of realized that I found some real ass dudes, and they were just kind of elevating what I was doing to another level. So we kind of decided to make it a band rather than just a solo thing. So we called it Hell or High Water, and we tour. We're pretty consistent from about 2011 to 2017.
Yeah.
even in the 18. And yeah, we did a lot of like real random stuff. Like we were kind of an eclectic, rock band at its core, but just kind of an eclectic band. So we would tour with like The Darkness, or we would go on tour with like Stone Sour. It was like The Used. It was like all super different kind of stuff. And but yeah, it was cool. I mean, that was like my whole life pretty much, when Atreyu was on our break.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then I was talking to Dan Smith about you too. He's a big fan of you and had a lot of nice things to say. He told me that you and your wife were on LA Inc. at one point too. Yeah,
we came in a long time ago. My wife got years ago captured like a Disney, like Sleeping Beauty, like Disney sleeve on her, which was cool at the time because it's like a full color sleeve, which obviously everyone knows Kat Von D's not known for that. So it's
not
cool
at all.
Different, but yeah, she tattooed me and her a bunch back in the day, and I got some Dan Smith tattoos actually too. Dan Smith actually did me and my wife. We got a little like Roman numeral 15s behind our ear last year for our anniversary.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, love Dan.
So when you're off tour, what is your daily life like today? Like, what's your schedule like? You just with the fam? You're just chilling?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, like we moved to Tennessee in August, so it's been a little bit different being out here. But I mean, yeah, I got two young kids in kindergarten and first grade. Today, for instance, my first grader, my oldest is 6, so she's home from school. So I've just been chilling with her. But yeah, when I'm home, it's like morning routine, get the kids together, walk them to school, do stuff around the house, hang with my wife, and it's very much family oriented. I do a good bit of writing too. Obviously, when I kind of get more settled in here, I'll be doing a lot more songwriting and stuff. Will probably take me more into Nashville, and there's a bunch of dudes, even kind of homies and other bands and stuff that live in the same town that I do, that I'll end up writing with quite a bit. So that usually takes up a good amount of my time as well.
That's cool. There's so many people that moved out of California the past couple of years to Nashville or Austin and all that. Is it really, really, really different? Is like a kind of culture shock to move there, growing up in California?
Dude, it's definitely different, but like, it's not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was kind of worried, like, I didn't know how like the politics would be. I'm not a political guy, but even still being like, I didn't know how that was going to be. I didn't know if it was going to be full, just like, hick style freaking culture shock shit. But I mean, it's really not. Like people are super nice. I mean, you have certain areas where we live, like Franklin, Tennessee is right down the road. I mean, it's like super hipster and like cool.
I know a lot of people who live there, a lot of bands.
Nashville.
Yeah.
What's that?
I know a lot of bands who live in Franklin for sure.
For sure, yeah. Franklin, even I'm in Spring Hill. There's like, tons of bands that I know that live here too, and it's really not. It's different, but it's not like crazy different. It's not like I didn't move to like Southern Alabama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like downtown Nashville. Like there's parts of downtown Nashville look like Silver Lake. You know what I mean? They look like parts of LA like super hip, and like there's pottery places and places to make candles and like boutique clothing stores, and it's all the same kind of shit. So it's like it's been cool so far. It's been very positive. But I mean, better than anyone. You live in California forever too. It's like it's not getting any cheaper.
No, it's not, man.
So with kids, it's like having two young kids. It's like we need a bigger boat. So I think the best option was just out here.
And you can buy something out there probably way different, and like I don't know, just the quality of life's gonna be way different.
100%. I mean, we're seeing even it is. It's just slower too.
Yeah.
And like even my we talked to my wife about it a lot, and even she's like, I feel like I'm adjusting way better than I thought I was going to, simply because there's a lot less just like white noise.
Yeah.
It's just more quiet and calm and slow. And when you're driving, it's not the 405 slam packed 6 lanes of freeway traffic. It's like 2 lanes and there's trees and it's pretty, and you know what I mean? It's just like a lot less noise.
And we talked about this earlier on the pod too, just about like, it doesn't matter where you live. Most bands are all spread out these days, especially after the pandemic. Everybody went to, like my guitar player was in South Carolina.
For sure.
It's like you can live anywhere and still be a band because you're always on tour together. So it doesn't really matter. As long as you like practice, like you said, like you fly in somewhere early, do a band practice or whatever, but you can live anywhere you want when you're in a band, which is kind of cool, actually.
It's for sure doable. It's not hard these days at all. I mean, I think it's just different. Like I said, when we were talking too, it's like, it's different than when we were like kids, like meeting up in a room and like writing songs and like jamming. It's like, at least we don't do that anymore. It's like it's a different scenario.
What about going to shows and stuff? Like, do you still go to shows or try to go out and see bands? And
Yeah, man. Whenever I can, I mean, we literally got last couple shows I went to. We got home from tour at the what was it like beginning of October?
Yeah.
And literally, I landed, and it was a Shinedown Papa Roach Spirit Box was in Franklin. It's like literally show. On the way home. So I missed most of it, but we ended up just going to the show and caught like the back half of Shinedown set, and then just like we're friends with all those bands too. So it's just like went to hang out. So it's like, you know, I landed home from tour, and me and my wife went straight to the show.
I love that.
And then before that, I went to there was an Indecision Records anniversary show in Orange County.
Yeah, that was crazy. I saw footage of that.
Bro,
you were saying Biggie jumped on your head like back in the day. That's awesome.
Straight up jumped on my head. I was like a freaking teenager, man. Like I was dumping sweat, just like living, man.
Also, you used to mention Pop Roach. I love Jacoby, man. He's a sweet kid. He was on my pod, known him for many, many years. Like he's really focused on mental and physical health, and always talking about that. And like I love seeing him, like his videos, him jogging, and like
for sure,
really talented kid, man.
He is a like just a shining light of a human. You know what I mean? Like he is an energy shift for the absolute best when he walks in a room. Like I've never spent time with that dude and had like anywhere close to a bad time. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Even if you're like talking about some serious shit or talking about dark topics, he's just always brings a light to the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like in the studio, like he was on a song on our last record, and like we straight up didn't even like the song. Like we didn't like the song before him. And it was like, yo, actually, this could probably work for you. He came in and like changed our whole mind on the whole song. Like he lit the track on fire, bro.
Damn,
like,
that's amazing.
He's a monster in the studio. So it's like he's just a force. You know what I mean?
That's fucking. And he has like some of the best hair ever in music.
Bro,
his hair game's on fucking points. Like, is that shit real? He's like, absolutely. He's like, I'm holding on strong. Like, he's got really, really fucking insane hair, man.
He's on that hair routine for sure. He's doing something special.
I know you mentioned. I know you mentioned politics and all that stuff. You don't really talk about. I don't really talk about politics either, but you never talked about that in your music either, right?
No, not really. I mean, I feel like that. Like, it's a ruiner. Politics are an everything ruiner.
Yeah,
it's a conversation ruiner. It's a friendship ruiner. It's a.
I agree, dude.
It's a world ruiner, to be quite honest. But I feel like it's like if you do have, a stance or a kind of position you stand, I think it's just personal shit. It's like religion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like everyone should do whatever they want, but it's like no one. It's just your thing. You know what I mean? Those are things that I think were meant for the individual. And I have some of my best friends in the world that have complete opposite, political views as me, and it's like, okay, like let's just leave it out then. You know what I mean? Like I love 99.9% of you. This one thing that we don't agree on, like let's just leave it out because we don't need it. It doesn't need to exist here.
And then that's how it should be. I feel like so many people were divided because of like what side you're on. But I love having diverse friends that have different things we can talk about. We're not exactly the same. Like not all my friends are vegan. Not all my friends are straight. Not all my friends are like on this part of politics. But we can have like adult conversations, which aren't really had anymore because of the internet.
Yeah, and I think people too. And people can get caught up in it, where it's just like. It's like some stuff is just like, no, maybe it's just better if we leave this part out of our lives. Like we're fantastic when we don't talk about this one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like maybe that one thing's a problem. It's not you or me.
No, I agree. Were you raised religious?
No, not at all. I mean, my my dad's side of the family is Jewish. My mom's side of the family wasn't really anything. So I was just kind of raised in and out. Like there was part of my life where my mom was with a guy for years and years, and like his family was into like gospel church, and that was the coolest shit that I ever went to. Like that was the coolest religious experience I ever went to, was going to like a gospel church on Sunday. Like wow, like it's an event and you're singing and it's like you feel it. But other than that, like I never really went to church really, and just kind of like never had like a really any direction as far as religion went.
Yeah, so raising your family is probably no religion in the house as well. I raised my son with no religion in my house.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. Like my wife was raised Christian, same thing. She doesn't go to church all the time, but that's how she was raised. So it's like it exists, but it's not like a staple in our household.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's like a spiritual thing, and it's not like a, we don't talk about it really. It's just like we're not going to church,
Yeah, I definitely feel like people like us who are in bands, who come from the punk rock world, who become parents. I don't know. Not that we're cooler, but just we've seen the world. We've been around all kinds of diversity and people and the scene we grew up in, the music and the lyrics and everything. Yeah. It definitely, for me, I'm sure for you, it's definitely part of, you know, it's part of my DNA first and foremost. And then you become a dad. And then obviously the DNA goes into your child and what you know, like your ethics and all that stuff, how you see the world. And I'm not saying we have an upper hand as parents, but it's definitely, we're not like our parents. We're not like a lot of the parents that I've seen or met throughout raising my son at schools and events and stuff like that. I'm still like a total black sheep in society, whether I own a house or drive a car or pay my bills and my taxes. Like when you're rolling up, tatted up from a tour and I'm serving food at my son's school or just whatever, meeting the band. What do you do? I'm in some band. Oh, what kind of music? It's like, oh God, it's like, you don't know what hardcore is. I don't want to say that. Like,
yeah, you don't get it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You always have the conversation. What kind of band you in? It's like rock. Like metal, like what kind of bands? And you're like, you try to think of one that they would know. You're like Metallica. Dude, like, I love Metallica. You're like, well, we're nothing like Metallica. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I always say like harder than Green Day and not as hard as Metallica. That's what I tell you. Like, I'll tell like people on flights or anything, like just normal civilians are asking me. I'm like, oh man, I'm 53 and I sing in a punk band. It's so hard to explain like that reality and what it means. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, it's such because we're in such a world that's like. Obviously, you've had radio stuff and TV stuff, but it's like the bands that we're in are not like household names. We're not like, you know what I'm saying?
They're not
like,
at all.
And it's a very underground scene that we're in still, you know? It's like, regardless of how big it can get or how bands are big in this genre, but like I definitely feel that we're still part of this crazy subculture, man.
Absolutely. It really is. Yeah. I mean, it's almost unexplainable to people that don't get it. But it's funny, as you said, too, it's like you were saying, I don't want to say we have the upper hand as parents, but I almost think in a non-cocky way we do. I was talking about this yesterday on an interview, and we're talking about traveling the world and like seeing what we've seen and like understanding different cultures and different people and different countries and all these things. It's like we're talking about, you know, how like my kids come and visit us on tour, and like, you know, their school might get mad if they miss a couple of days of school because they don't like think of that as like an excusable thing. It's like, well, they're going to learn more in those 3 days on the bus than they, you know what I mean? More 100%. Valuable things like with those interesting people they meet and cool experiences that they take part in than they probably would have learned in school that day anyways. You know, it's like, so it really is like, I think we do have the upper hand as far as parents, because it's like we have this perspective that most people just don't have.
I agree. Like my son's traveled the world as well and been more times missing out of school to go to Japan or South America or somewhere insanely awesome.
For sure.
Yeah, and like learning about the cultures and seeing people and learning like just about the different money and talking to people and just all that's real life, you know, experiences at such a young age. Going to Japan
so valuable.
Before he was 12.
So valuable.
Yeah, and even some like he would sometimes it depends what class it was. They'd ask him to write about his like tour or what he saw, and that was cool too. Like just his experiences. You know what I mean? Like because you can't get that in school. You really can't. You have to go out there and live. And some people never leave their towns, and they're like, you know, whatever their situations is, they can't afford to, or whatever their life is. Some people don't get to travel. You know, it's crazy.
Exactly. We're very lucky.
I also feel like that's a problem with a lot of the world is that people that don't get to see other cultures are scared of other cultures and judge other cultures and have this fear and become racist and all this stuff over people they never met because they never left their small town. You know what I mean?
Think those are the ones that are the loudest about it. I feel like the ones that are the loudest about different cultures and just people having differences in general are the ones that have never experienced those differences before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the loudest ones are the ones that don't know what they're talking about in the first place when it comes to like they've never gone to other countries or experienced different cultures and been like, you know, spend enough time to even understand or know if they don't like it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They just like assume.
Yeah. It's crazy. We're so lucky to do that, man. Be able to travel and to bring our families with us too. Like not even on some like we're not in private jets. We're not like balling out of control, but somehow we make it happen to have like our wives and our kids out there with us, man. It's like I don't know.
It's the best.
Especially doing
it's like
that
the best
punk
part
rock.
of touring, man.
It is, dude. Come out, visit you. So when's your next tour?
We leave again in next week actually.
Next
shit! Thursday. Yeah, we go to Europe for 5 weeks. Europe, UK for 5 weeks.
It's awesome, man.
So, yeah, we've done two winters in a row in Europe.
That's brutal, man. Especially coming from Cali. Well, now you're not coming from there. Yeah. Do you like touring in the winter?
I don't mind it. I'm a dude who runs super hot.
Okay.
So I'd almost rather it be cold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not just like sweating and uncomfortable all the time.
Yeah.
But so I don't mind it. I mean, like especially Europe in the winter's cool. Like it's you're
just going from the bus into the venue, whatever.
Straight up, yeah. You're just people, but our dumbasses we're like, it's funny. We've been a band for almost 25 years. And we still go to Europe and do the tourist thing. Like we're fucking, we're crushing 20,000 steps a day.
No, I love that, dude. That's amazing,
like, go see
dude.
Castles and shit.
Go to the same churches in Prague. Go to the Eiffel Tower. Go to all the
100%.
same. Yeah. I love that.
Still doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of like just rediscovering it again, or just as you get older, like appreciating stuff. Because there has been times on certain tours where I was just like, yeah, I'm chilling at the venue. It's freezing out. I've seen that before.
100%.
I'm not gonna go see that same thing again. But not that I don't appreciate it, but it's like you've seen it 100 times. But still, I love that you guys are now having my son with us. I love seeing all that shit through his eyes. Like depending where we go, taking him to spots that he's never been to. That's cool, like.
For sure. That's what I've always loved about going places. Even before we had kids, going places and then going back with my wife and like feeling like I know the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, knowing where to go, what to see and stuff like that's so cool.
So yeah, man. Well, fuck. Well, thank you. I'm so happy we got to meet, and like I appreciate your support with H2O, and like I know you've been seeing us since you were a kid, and like it's awesome to finally get to meet you. And we are in like the same world and also in a different world as far as I guess the genres, whatever the shit is. But we're the same. We come from the same world, man. You know, what I mean, both like punk rock dads, and it's like I wish I actually knew you before you moved, because I knew we'd definitely be hanging. Sure. I was telling Dan that too.
I know for sure. But
Dan
like
loves
I said,
you.
I'm around enough. We'll definitely get some time for sure.
Yeah, man. I really appreciate.
It was so funny, dude. I gotta tell you real fast. I did this podcast yesterday, and it was like the questions were all music based, and it was like first music you ever bought, first memory you have, like what song makes you think of school, like your school years, like stuff like that. And one of the song that made me think of like my school years, this is like early high school, but I remember I had this like little yellow tape cassette like boombox thing.
Yeah.
And I got the Thicker Than Water cassette single.
Awesome.
And it had Thicker Than Water on one side, and I don't remember what it has on the other side. But that's when I first discovered H2O, and I listened to that thing till it broke, because it was like the first punk song that I was like, this is melodic. Like,
that's
this is
amazing,
stuck in my head.
man. That's fucking
whatever.
awesome.
But I was like, and that was like my early high school like entrance to all things punk, hardcore, and in between.
Where'd you get that cassette from?
It was like a random like thing they had like at one of the record stores where we lived.
Yeah.
And I liked it because the Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
I was like, that's dope. I used to have my friend draw Sacred Heart on my arm all the time before I could get tattoos. And he would like draw it on my arm. I have a heart with wings. It's not the same one, but I ended up getting almost the same tattoo that I used to draw. That's fucking Thicker Than Water.
So
Sacred
cool,
Heart
man.
or whatever. But that's the reason why I got it. I was like, that's a dope looking tattoo. And then I was like, this band is sick. But
awesome,
just yesterday.
That's so cool, man. It's such a small world, man. And now we're friends. It's fucking awesome, man. I love how the world is, man. Oh shit, that's really cool. Well, good talking to you, man. And I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming in the Uber that day and all that shit, man. Fuck.
Oh, no worries. It was worth it. It was a good hang.
Great hang, dude. Have a great tour. Have a great day. And I'll keep you posted when this is coming out.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk soon.
All right, brother. Bye.
Bye.
I always ask my guests if they have any regrets. I personally don't have any regrets. Even when it comes to my tattoos, I have the silliest tattoos. Even my ET on my leg, it's still a childhood memory for me, and I love it. I've had tattoos on top of tattoos strictly because I wanted more tattoos. I started getting tattoos when I was 18. I'm 52 now, and I can't stop. I've had laser treatment before on something on my arm. It's 4 tattoos on top of each other. And that experience at that place was pretty fast. It was pretty cold. It was in and out, swiped the credit card. Don't really tell me much. Didn't give me much details or anything was going to happen. So I never went back. So as of most recently, I'm so lucky enough to have had 2 sessions at Removery Tattoo Removal. My tattoo on my arm that looks like a big black blob is now super light. I've had 2 sessions. I have a long road ahead of me. None of this stuff happens overnight. You cannot take a tattoo up in one sitting. You have to be patient. And it's painful. They ice you up. It's super fast. To me, it felt like a bunch of rubber bands. But what's more painful than that is looking at something on your body that you think you're stuck with for the rest of your life. That sucks. But now for me, I'm really happy I started this journey. I'm slowly going to get this tattoo removed. I never thought in a million years I have any kind of real estate on my arm. I don't even know what I want, but it's exciting. I'm so honored to announce that One Life, One Chance podcast is now with Removery. I have a code. Use TobyH20 and get $100 off your first session. Call 866-934-4570 or go to removery.com. One of the most experienced tattoo removal companies in the world. Over 600,000 removal treatments done. 100 locations. U.S., Canada, and Australia. State-of-the-art Pico-Way laser technology. Cryo-technology to reduce any discomfort. This is so exciting for me because all I do in these podcasts is talk about tattoos. From day one, if you've been listening to this podcast, talk about tattoos, talk about getting removed, talk about getting covered up. So this is such a perfect fit for me. Once again, go to removery.com or call 866-934-4570. Use my code TobyH20 and get $100 off. These guys are located everywhere. Try it out.